match is for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, set for one fall. Introducing first the challenger from Tijuana, Mexico, Rey Mysterio Jr.
The debut of Rey Mysterio Jr., a sensation from Mexico, going after the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. And we are joined by Mr. Wrestling Insider Mike Tenay. Mike, good to have you with us, and we are in for a treat with Rey Mysterio Jr., I'm sure.
Oh, we certainly are, Tony. It is great to be with you in the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I think this is a matchup that not only the fans are interested in, but the wrestlers as well in the back. What is all this hype about Rey Mysterio Jr. that we've heard about? Is he going to be able to deliver in this Cruiserweight Championship matchup?
Well, you know, Iron Michael, let me tell you, how does he match up, though, in this situation? Has he met Dean Malenko before? I'm sure he studied tapes of him.
I'm sure studied tapes, but this is the first ever meeting between these two men tonight.
His opponent from Tampa, Florida, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion, the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko.
Man of 1,000 holds, also call him the Iceman because of that demeanor. I mean, he never changes expression. There's a lot of respect here in the Baltimore arena for Dean Malenko, but that is worldwide too, Mike.
And I think the nicknames of these two wrestlers almost sets the stage for what we're going to see. In Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds, Rey Mysterio Jr., simply known as the human highlight film of professional wrestling.
All right, Dream, our first look at Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dean Malenko. Talking to Dean Malenko, he was really pumped up for this for a couple of reasons. I mean, he's quite a story in the Cruiserweight division. He lost 2 straight matches in the double elimination tournament, was out but rebounded to defeat Otani in Otani's first title defense after winning the tournament on Worldwide Wrestling.
You know, Tony and Iron Mike, we wear this thing out a lot about pound for pound. But I guarantee you, these two guys right here, looking forward to the high-risk maneuvers, as you said, and the Iceman, let's see if he can put him away.
I think at first glance it seems like it's probably a simple matchup of the mat technician in Dean Malenko against the high flyer in Rey Mysterio Jr. But do not discount the ground game of Rey Jr. as well. Very adept at submission holds, and also don't sell Malenko short when it comes to aerial tactics and high-risk moves as well.
No question about that. You can't be a champion if you can't go in many ways, more than one. Look at that handspring to get out, trying to leg sweep, got him down, lateral press, but Malenko will not stay down here early on. Mike Tenay, also the host of WCW Worldwide and WCW Pro International. And our fans internationally hear Mike Tenay each and every week. Mike, good to have you with us, and I know you're excited about this man, Rey Mysterio, but we've seen some great action already in this program.
Great American Bash has been terrific, and of course expecting the big matchup later on with the NFL against WCW as we see both men kip up and both men stand at the ready.
You know what, sometime, Mike, in a situation where you're a shorter man than the other guy, you already have that center of gravity to where both you're down in a situation. I look at him like watching a prize fight sometime. The lower you get, the more chance you got to take a guy off his feet. And Malenko, though, has them what I call vice grip hands, much as the Danny Hodge had, and he gets a hold of you, you can't get away from that situation. And if you can't fly, you can't win, and I believe in Mysterio's case.
Obviously, Malenko's strategy is to ground Rey. Malenko just really wants to keep him from going to those high-risk moves. And one of the big advantages that Malenko has is that over the course of the past several years, he's been wrestling internationally against the best of the high flyers, the Ligers and the Benoits, the Otanis, as you mentioned.
Oh.
Big advantage for Malenko in that.
Mysterio, back elbow, boy, that caught him off guard. And he's up on top.
Whoa.
Spun around and drags him down.
What a move.
Tremendous arm drag.
Yeah, from a different situation.
You're not kidding.
You've seen arm drags from different situations, but wow, what a move that was. Iron Mike, I don't think he has the power. You know, Junior, I don't think Junior has the power to fist fight him, and he's going to have to do things like that to beat him.
No question, the key to that, Mike, was that elbow that caught him off guard or never got that arm drag.
Tremendous spring in that drop kick that sends Malenko to the floor. You know, on the surface, it appears that these are both second-generation wrestlers. Dean Malenko, obviously, his father, Boris the Great Malenko. But in the case of Rey Mysterio Jr., he took the name of his uncle, who was his trainer, Rey Mysterio. He also trained Conan, and Conan and Rey Mysterio Jr. both trained at the same time. You look at Rey Mysterio Jr. and you see a young man who just turned 21 years of age, but he started wrestling at the age of 14, so he already has 7 years of experience under his belt.
Wow, wrestling at the age of 14, that's unheard of. I mean, we talked, a lot about Alex Wright, the youngster wrestling here at the age of 18 years old, but 14, and look at this. Revolutionary moves. Grabbing the legs, over to the top, to the floor. And this youngster, at 21 years of age, is another man, Lord Steven Rico, that started at age 15. But here comes Malenko. Oh, boy, he is so quick.
Attempted that baseball slide. Now, that's a move that actually started down in Mexico, and you see that Ray Jr. one step ahead. He saw it coming. Malenko telegraphed the move, and Ray Jr. able to step out of the way of that baseball slide attempt by Dean Malenko.
I think you made a good point right there when you talk about telegraphing a move in a high-risk match like this. If you're the one, sometimes I say, Iron Mike, if you make a mistake, you lose. But if you don't really look out and see what happens telegraph-wise, you know what I mean, and anticipate what's going to happen to you, you can also lose.
We talked about the man of 1,000 holes. We just saw a brand new one right there. How about that, Mike? He almost tried to pull the arm right out of the socket, using his arms to further the damage from the legs.
And we see that Rey Mysterio Jr. favoring the elbow, and now it's up to Malenko to take advantage, and he goes right to work with the stomp right on the elbow.
Back up on top now. He's going right to the arm again.
That hammerlock slam again right on the elbow. I think the phenomenon of Rey Mysterio Jr. is that before seeing him in action, you could make the mistake of dismissing him as a championship contender simply based on his size. But I think after seeing him in the ring maybe just once or twice, you'll never think that again.
No, there's no question that he is just right for the cruiserweight division. That was made for a guy like Rey Mysterio Jr. and, of course, our champion, Dean Malenko. Great cruiserweights. Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit can compete in the cruiserweight division as well. Some of the great superstars, you talked about Liger from Japan. Really some great competition, not only here in the United States, but worldwide for the cruiserweight title.
Yeah, but you know what, Tony? Them guys can compete with anybody.
No question.
That's the level of play at WCW where the big boys play. And as Mike said, at first glance, you might think that. But I guarantee you, you know, Mike, I've seen many a smaller guy beat a bigger guy in this great sport of ours. And in situations tonight, we have one where we take a powerful look at Lex Luger, big powerful man, but he's against a bigger man. So sometimes it ain't really the size of the dog, it's the bite of the dog that'll come back and get you.
Mike, do I have to translate any of that for you?
No, he's into my repertoire.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes you got to be with Dusty a couple of weeks before you get what's going on here. And pulling on the arm.
Oh, staked it right over the guardrail, and again continuing to work on the elbow of Rey Mysterio Jr. Very big night for wrestling in Mexico. Rey Mysterio Jr., should he win the cruiserweight title, the AAA promotion based in Mexico would hold half of the WCW singles championships, 2 out of the 4 belts.
Good point.
Great point. Yes, it sure is.
Good point. Speaking of point, kicked him right in the back, staying on that arm, concentrating on that arm. Always when you get a guy hurt, you need to stay on it. And a lot of the young guys, Mike, they don't do that.
Showing a lot of fire, walking the top and drop kicking him down.
Springboards off the top with that drop kick, and an opportunity now for Mysterio to turn the tide.
Still favoring that arm, though, as he goes into the corner. He could almost a power bomb, and Malenko took advantage of that one.
Hung him up.
Tell you, Malenko, quickness that time, and the fans love this, and they should. Great wrestling action, exciting action. Here's a lateral press. 1, 2. It's not over yet, fans.
Now, you've seen a little, when you talk to Eddie Guerrero and Junior right here, that fire of where you think you got him and being able to come back. But look at this thing here, Iron Mike.
He's got the arm barred, and of course adding, and it appears now that there's blood from the knee of Malenko as he scissors the arm and also bars it at the same time. A unique type of arm breaker by Dean Malenko. We talked about Eddie Guerrero. We talked about the international competition that WCW is involved with. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Thursday night in Osaka, Japan, Eddie Guerrero defeated Jushin Thunder Liger to win the Super J tournament in Japan. It's the New Japan organization's top tournament of the year, most prestigious, involving the junior heavyweights, and the winner was Eddie Guerrero.
Just proving again that hard work and determination will get you to the top, and Eddie exemplifies all of those. No question about it. Congratulations to Eddie. And right now, Dean Malenko has one game plan. He may be a high flyer as Rey Mysterio, but he's not working on the legs. He's working on the arm. Is the champ.
Unique strategy by Malenko. As we mentioned, you would expect for him to try and take out the legs of Ray Jr. He's actually seen that Ray Jr. suffered a shoulder or elbow injury early in the match, and now he's following up the advantage and working on that body part.
Yeah, he might have had that leg game plan going in, Mike, but now that he's seen he got him hurt, injured, and that's where he's going to crank on. And had something similar to a code red on him earlier.
well, we can see that he's able to adapt to his style. He's not one of those guys. Two count at that time, and Ray Jr. just gets the shoulder up. We can see that he can adapt. Possibly he had that other strategy going into the match. He's now able to adapt and continues to work on the arm. And again, that variation, as you said, similar to a Code Red, where he has the arm breaker also scissored on the head.
Yeah, he's got it on a little bit different right here than he had it a while ago. But the pressure, the amount of pressure that's on this young man's arm right here, you know, is in almost an uncling situation.
Yeah, but it's twofold here, guys, because Rey Mysterio's a high flyer. He needs to run around the ring to be effective, to use his moves, and he's cutting off the air supply as well.
Yeah, but as Iron Mike said, he's got his legs. I mean, the game plan that he went in, he's got his legs. When you look at this thing, he just needs to fight himself up and get a break away from this arm.
But I'm not going to
He ain't going to run around on his hands.
Yeah, but I know, but if he ain't got the lungs, what's good the legs will do you? Over the top.
That's true.
All right.
Tremendous overhead suplex with the hammerlock thrown in as well, as Malenko continues to work on the arm, shoulder, and elbow of Rey Mysterio Jr.
Got a cover, we got our two. And Mysterio just will not stay down. We talked about his size, a lot of fight, a lot of determination, and a lot of reserve in Rey Mysterio Jr. What an impressive debut here.
That's what it reminds you of Eddie Guerrero when we talk about this ability to come back.
Oh! Acrobatic type move using the springboard on the middle rope. But that time, now Malenko, now he's got him tied up using the leg, and there he's on that arm once again.
Yeah, here's the combination move, and again he gives up the leg and goes right back to work on the arm and elbow. I think the one possibility as we look down the line in this matchup is that Rey Mysterio Jr. still has his legs. If he's able to get back up on his feet, it looks like he's in the perfect situation to make a comeback because he still has his legs. Malenko has not worked on them yet.
I said that, Iron Mike. I said that earlier. But you know what? He almost had on him right there, and you know as well as anybody, he was very close to going and putting the STF on him. You know, where if he'd have slipped that arm in there where he had his legs all rolled up, you sit there with your mouth open catching flies, Tony, while me and Iron Mike go ahead and talk about this situation.
Want to tell our fans we have a tremendous crowd. They are jam-packed to the rafters here in downtown Baltimore, one of the greatest wrestling cities in the world. Some legendary matches here. We're right along the Inner Harbor. Good to have you with us, watching on pay-per-view with your dad on Father's Day or your family, wherever you are, watching WCW. This is where the big boys play.
Looks like he's going to set him up here for an upside-down surfboard. It's a hold that was actually invented in Mexico. He's got to get all of his weight and rock back.
Can he do it?
He's got him
up in the air. This is a hold invented in Mexico by a famous Mexican wrestler named Rito Romero. It's called the Rito Romero Special. It's south of the border. And he drops him back into a bridge.
1, 2, did not get him. Fans, there's a lot of talk over the entire week. Mike, I know on the Wrestling Hotline, you've been talking about the possible hostile takeover of World Championship Wrestling. Will we answer? What's going to be our answer to the challenge that was made? That is still to come. And if the answer is yes, when and where the match will take place. Wow, that's still to come in this telecast, fans.
Well, we want Wall. Let's do it. Got him.
Still, not only does he try a lateral press there, but he now has him up and working on the arm once again.
Well, you have to say that Malenko has been successful in grounding Rey Mysterio Jr.
A submission hold on the shoulder of Rey Mysterio. Randy Eller is checking in.
Notice how Malenko reaches through and keys the lock by putting his hand over his own wrist. He keys that to add extra pressure.
Short arm scissors now. And once again, Randy Eller doing his job. Malenko has grounded Rey Mysterio. I don't think there's any question what has happened here. We've seen just a few flashes of his brilliance, but a man of 1,000 holds living up to his name here.
That's good. Whoa. I tell you what, he has used quite a few of them thousands of holes already.
Quite a few.
But the bottom line with Junior is he is not a guy that is going to give up. He knows the importance being here at WCW, representing this country, as you said there, Iron Michael. And the bottom line is he needs to get out. I don't care what he has to do. If he got to bite him, pinch him, get out of this situation or go and get his arm broke.
You know, just 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles at the Antonio Inoki Wrestling Peace Festival, Rey Mysterio Jr. not only turned the heads of the wrestling fans in attendance, but also the WCW executives. There was a card with over 40 of the top international stars from the U.S., Japan, and Mexico, and he was the consensus MVP that night. The standout performer with that waist-lock suplex attempt. He dropped straight back in the cover.
1, 2.
Whoa, man.
Got
Boy,
it, 2 counts.
I'll tell you what, you got to take your hat off to this kid. I mean, the Iceman, Dean Malenko, has had him in every situation that you could put a man in without putting him away. Got him right here, double underarm, hook up.
Into the butterfly suplex. A lateral press, 1, 2. And Mysterio's out of it again. Oh, my. But Malenko goes back for the pinning combination again.
And also working as well with the arm. It's a combination pin and submission.
Yeah, anytime Malenko grabs a hold of you, you can say uncle. He goes after the point of saying, I'm either going to pin him or I'm going to double him up so bad here and get that arm in a situation where he's going to have to give up. And that's what makes the Iceman so great. And I tell you, I just can't say enough about Junior. I mean, he is really something to watch.
In addition, you know, we call him the Iceman, but the closest we've ever seen to a show of emotion on the face of Dean Malenko. It may be a show of frustration there because he can't keep this guy down. But the man who's the Iceman because of his lack of emotion, look at the face. That's determination right there.
Determination, but he also seems like he's frustrated at this point and that he just can't finish and just can't put away Rey Jr.
Putting on the arm.
That pump handle type move, and again, right over the shoulder, and drops down with an elbow.
Let me tell you what, I hate to put it like this, but that referee might think about stepping in here and stopping this thing. Because at this age, this young man right here, I know he wants to win bad, but you see this situation right here with an arm out of socket, and he's got him lifted right up right there. A whole career is in front of this young man, and why take a chance right here? I mean, I know that I'm looking at the referee's eyes, and he's really looking close, Tony.
Mysterio trying to get to the ropes to get the break, but he was pulled back, and I'm surprised Randy Eller allows this to continue. He was in the ropes, only momentarily. Going through, he hit the cameraman that time.
That might be the break he needed right there.
That's exactly right, he hit the camera. This could change. Malenko's back on his feet.
Could turn the tide. Nice big forearm smashes by Rey Jr., 3 of them, and he's set to fly.
Mysterio, that baseball slide to the ankles. Up on top, kicks him through, and he tumbles out beyond the match. Watch out, Mysterio is up and down.
Springboard somersault off the top rope, and he stopped and planted Malenko out on the concrete.
How about it? You talking about competition? You're getting it here at the Bash.
Well, I think we're seeing the resilience at this point of Rey Mysterio Jr. Malenko just worked continuously, non-stop, trying to hyperextend the elbow, but now the opportunity for Rey Mysterio Jr. to come back, and let's see if he can take advantage from here.
He's limping though, isn't he? I don't know if he hit hard on a knee or what that time. Limping, favoring the leg. He's up again. Big drop kick, and that was on target.
Tremendous springboard drop kick and hooks the leg.
1, 2, and no, Malenko escaped.
Well, I tell you what, these fans are standing everywhere. That was awesome.
Pick up to a powerbomb. No, he sets on him. Malenko, other way. He rolls through. A bridge. 1, 2, no. Oh my.
Oh, man.
Tremendous transitional moves by both wrestlers back and forth, and the crowd really appreciates this, and they respond.
The handspring. He's on the outside. That nailed him. Up on top again. Head scissor, almost a Frankensteiner. 1, 2. No, we don't.
Whoa, baby. He had him right there, and it was close to being a Frankensteiner. Caught it off the top rope, though. Unbelievable moves. Unbelievable match.
We are seeing one of the finest cruiserweight matches ever.
I told you going to be a show stealer, didn't I?
In the corner, Mysterio stays on his feet. He ducks into a shoulder block. He's going very slowly up top. He doesn't have what he had at the beginning of the match, obviously. Malenko, what's Malenko trying to do here?
Well, he's getting him back. He got him meeting
Mysterio
right in the face.
with another Frankensteiner off the top. The fans love it.
Just a tremendous move by Rey Mysterio Jr. catching that Frankensteiner off the top rope. It almost appeared that Malenko was trying to set him up for one of his favorite finishing holds, that stomach block, where he fireman's carries him straight down across his knee.
Maybe he was trying that time. But Mysterio turned it on him. Got a 2 and got it. Did he get it or not?
I'll tell you what, that
Only
was awful
2.
close. 2.5. I thought he hit it right there.
I think some of the fans are booing. They thought it was a 3 count as well, but Randy Eller, who's in charge here, says no. Mysterio up on top, hooking the legs. Powerbomb Malenko. He's got the ropes at 2 and 3.
Unbelievable.
They're standing and applauding not only the champion but both men.
Tremendous effort on the part of both wrestlers, and Rey Mysterio Jr. just in a situation where he would never say die, and he would not give up despite all the pressure put on the elbow. Made a great and valiant attempt at a comeback, but Dean Malenko, with a little help from the ropes, dropped down, got the pinfall, and retains.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall. Introducing first, from Silver Creek, Colorado, Billy Kidman.
The youngster Billy Kidman to start off this telecast of Saturday night. In for an hour this week, Tony Schiavone, Dusty Rhodes, of course, and we have in this telecast the 3 men who will defend WCW in the most important pay-per-view event in WCW history, Bash of the Beach. We have Sting, Lex Luger, the Macho Man in our main event later on together against Ming, Hugh Morris, and Max of the Dungeon of Doom Dream.
Well, I tell you what, this pay-per-view, so big, so important to the whole world. This could change the way that wrestling is looked at in the next century.
His opponent from Tijuana, Mexico, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Rey Mysterio Jr. here on Saturday night, and what a sensation he was at the Great American Bash, and he'll be at the Bash of the Beach as well against a longtime nemesis, Psychosis, both men, of course, from Mexico, but Rey Mysterio Jr. is certainly electrifying, Dream.
Well, I tell you what, just to be very frank about the situation, Junior, they say on the street people say the hottest product in all of pro sports is this young man right here. We have him at WCW where the big boys play as we prepare for the wall, the hostile takeover, the assassination attempt. It's all right here. WCW Saturday Night, the mothership, gonna talk about Bash at the Beach all program long.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is only 1 week from tomorrow night. WCW's Bash at the Beach. Look at Mysterio hook the ropes. Springboard off the middle rope. 1, 2. Got a 2 count on Billy Kidman. Next Sunday, the 7th of July, it's your opportunity to see WCW and professional wrestling history at WCW's Bash at the Beach. Everyone's talking about this, Dream, in the front office, all the wrestlers, all the fans. This is the big one.
The corporate world is ablaze with it. Ever since professional wrestling, WCW, went into the world of corporations and big business, if you will, Turner Sports, WCW. I mean, this thing has never happened before, that where 2 guys, or now 3 guys, I mean, or could be many more, hostile takeover, trying to assassinate an executive producer. And along them same lines, now leading us into this big pay-per-view that will set the tone, as I said, for the next century of what pro wrestling is all about.
Billy Kidman showing plenty of agility. There's a backflip, and Billy Kidman 1 step ahead of Rey Mysterio Jr. that time. As you know, fans, high risk, that's exactly what it is. You take the risk as well. Billy Kidman's outside, and Billy Kidman with a leg drop on the outside. Good move of his own, 1, 2, and he almost had an upset in the opening bout here.
Billy Kidman is a young man that if he could even get close to getting a victory here with Rey Mysterio Jr. would really put himself on the map. Mike got him.
1, 2, crossbody block from the top. Also, Dean Malenko is here, Earl Robert Eaton and John Tenta, plus much more in this 1-hour edition of Saturday Night. Both feet up from Rey Mysterio Jr. Kidman catches him and power slams him down.
I tell you what, and the referee slid down for the count. Kidman up off of him, dazed his own self just a little bit, now going up to the top. High-risk maneuver. Rey Mysterio Jr., as I said, what a hot commodity he is in WCW right now, and all over the world, really. Watch this move right here.
Rey Mysterio Jr. almost like a victory rope on the top. 1, 2, 3, and he defeats Billy Kidman.
Wow, make no mistake about it.
One of the superstars you're going to see at Bash of the Beach against Psychosis. One of 9 matches at Bash of the Beach, the biggest pay-per-view in our sports history, and that's all coming up 1 week from tomorrow night.
At WCW's Bash at the Beach is set for one fall. Introducing first, from Ensenada, Mexico, Psychosis.
All right, we open up our telecast with Psychosis from Mexico. As we said, 9 tremendous matches for you. And we certainly look forward to having this match. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, of course, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and now putting his headset on and joining us, of the Wrestling Insider, Mike Tenay. Hello, Mike.
Tony, great to be along with yourself, Dusty, and Bobby, and be a part of the most important event in the history of World Championship Wrestling. We kick it off with an international battle featuring two of the most impressive young wrestlers to appear in WCW in quite some time.
Let me ask you something, Tenay. Can you come up with who this third guy is?
It's a mystery. You should hear them in the back, all the wrestlers. That's all they're talking about. Everybody wants to know. They say, Tenay, you're the Wrestling Insider. Who is it? It's the talk of the entire wrestling world.
I tell you, speaking of the talk of the wrestling world, this man, young man Dream, got a lot of talk. Rey Mysterio Jr. after he had that tremendous match at the Great American Bash with Dean Malenko.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that this young man right here is the future of what we know this sport is right now. So quick, so agile, so fast, so much heart that he has. And you know, Michael, and Mike, I tell you what, we've seen him against Dean Malenko. Me and you, we had talked about that situation. Bobby the Brain has seen him, and I guarantee you one time, I know, Michael, that this matchup has happened before, and they've been looking for each other, and they got it right here on the Bash.
You know, you look at the hair on Rey Mysterio Jr. Looks like Demi Moore.
Like who?
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, nothing like it. All right, here we go.
Not that.
Dusty, you are correct. One of the most heated feuds in the history of Lucha Libre, Mexican wrestling, and it comes to World Championship Wrestling. And I think just to refer to it as a feud really doesn't do it justice. This is a natural rivalry. Nice arm drag.
Whoa!
Psychosis all the way out with the slide to the floor. This dates back almost 8 years ago. Both of these men attended the same wrestling training camp down in Mexico. It's a rivalry that has dominated both wrestlers' professionals' career ever since that camp.
What does Psychosis have to do, Iron Mike, to beat Rey Mysterio Jr.? What actually does he have to do? Is it speed, quickness? What does he have to do to get a win right here at the Bash at the Beach?
Strategically, it's pretty simple as we see the half crab by Rey Jr. Since no wrestler relies on his legs more than Rey Jr., Psychosis has to concentrate on the knees, the quadriceps. He needs to wear down that offensive attack.
If you ask me, it's just going to be the luckiest man's going to win this one because they're both evenly matched. They both got speed. They both got agility. They both know each other. And one of them's got hair like Peg Bundy.
And also, Mike, we understand these gentlemen had to come a long way to get here to Daytona Beach here tonight.
Both of these men wrestled in Mexico last night. Believe it or not, they made it just in the nick of time to Daytona Beach. A quick Lucha Libre primer for everyone as we see the cross arm breaker attempted by Rey Mysterio Jr. You'll see Psychosis try and move up and try and get closer to Rey Jr. And now he breaks that arm breaker and grabs onto the arm. Masked wrestlers, very important part of Mexico's wrestling history. They're treated almost like superheroes south of the border, similar to maybe Batman in the States. The sales of masks at the arenas in Mexico far outnumber any other souvenirs. Great move here by Psychosis with the scissors on both arms on Rey Jr.
And Mike, why has it been that way, that masks have been so important, such a part of the tradition?
Almost a culture. The fans display their allegiance by wearing the masks of their favorite wrestlers. It's just huge down in Mexico. Variation of the Indian Deathlock here by Rey Jr. and Psychosis gets the rope break.
I guess you're not going to be able to purchase one of those masks at a bank. At a 7-Eleven or something.
Oh, man, would you stop it?
Believe it or not, they actually sell the masks on the streets in Mexico.
I believe that. I tell you, they got quite a following. Rey Mysterio Jr. in the blue and the red, and of course Psychosis in that yellow, black, red, and white getup of his. That's all. Jimmy Jett is the referee assigned to this one, and we are expecting some spectacular, revolutionary type maneuvers.
Look at that.
Well, that's one of them right there.
How about that? Into an arm drag.
Beautiful arm drag. There's the leapfrog.
He just tumbled out of that one. Did Psychosis? Mysterio with a backflip.
Oh!
Moonsault missed, but the Psychosis spin kick nailed Rey Jr., sends him down to the floor.
Well, you got to look right there.
Oh, he hit his head.
Tremendous suicide dive up and over the top rope by Psychosis, and he spiked Rey Mysterio Jr.
Well, he spiked himself, too, right on that middle rail there.
Yeah, I think he got the worst of it, bringing you right.
He bent one of his horns.
You know what, Iron Mike, and I'll tell you something. We see this move by different people. Nobody does it like these two guys here, but that is, right there is the most dangerous thing about it, I believe, and that is missing your opponent, running yourself in that rail, costing yourself serious injury.
Each country has certain moves or holds that they're famous for, as we see the body slam, and he just got him right up now off the rope. Psychosis. Oh, leg drop. In Mexico, of course, there's the quick cover.
We got a 2 count that time, and out of it is Rey Mysterio Jr. Of course, you have to consider now, these two men are here, and we're seeing a lot more of these men from Mexico because we have the world cruiserweight champion right here in Dean Malenko. These two men got to be considered top contenders. You know, Mike, Rey Mysterio proved that, and Brain, you'll agree with this, at the Great American Bash in Baltimore about 3 weeks ago.
And look, Conan is here, the Mexican champion, United States champion. They're here to prove themselves to everybody.
And he's got his work cut out for him with the Nature Boy Ric Flair still in this telecast. The night of the attempt of the hostile takeover.
Not knowing where Eric Bischoff is, to change it to just 1 second. Is he a hostage? What's going on? But I guarantee you, this thing right here is...
Guillotine leg drop off the top by Psychosis.
I was just getting ready to say a guillotine leg drop off the top rope.
A guillotine
Iron
leg
Mike, that was coming right out of my mouth.
Both of these men have been recognized as champions in lighter weight divisions. The advent, as Tony mentioned, of the cruiserweight title saw that WCW organization scout the world for the best talent as he drops that leg while he had Rey Mysterio Jr.'s throat across the bottom rope. WCW has gone out to get the best talent around the world. These are the cream of the crop.
And you know, I know you would agree with this, Mike, that Eric Bischoff, obviously there is a problem. He would never miss an event like this, especially after what happened to him.
Tony, has he been in
American
town?
Bash.
Has anybody seen him?
Well, I talked to him on Wednesday in Atlanta. And he
No, I
said,
said in town. Is he in Daytona? Has anybody seen him
he was
here?
on his way down. Okay.
That means anything could have happened.
What a running clothesline by Psychosis.
Hope they don't ask us for cash.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Iron Mike, he seems to have a little more power. I don't know about speed-wise. I'm talking about Psychosis. And, you know, the larger of the two. And, whoa, but it doesn't really matter to Junior. I know that he's fought back at all odds, but he had a lot of power in that clothesline there.
Power and size advantage for Psychosis. Rey Mysterio Jr. was raised in San Diego, California. He tells me that his idol as a youngster was Scott Steiner. Obviously one of the first moves that he perfected, the Frankensteiner. He can deliver this from any angle, from anywhere in the arena. That's one of the top offensive moves of Rey Mysterio Jr., who's now on the defensive.
You know, this Rey Mysterio Jr. he's a legend in San Diego. He's referred to a lot of places as the original San Diego Chicken.
Oh, would you please stop? You pick your points, don't you?
He popped his neck right back right there. Got him in a position now that, you know, as we talked about, Iron Mike, about putting people away, knowing when great athletes go for the victory, this might be the time for Psychosis.
We've mentioned it in the past that Rey Mysterio Jr., even though he's already wrestled for 7 years, is only 21 years of age. Psychosis, the old man, as we see the slide through, Psychosis is 25.
Wow. Handspring over the top. And he just set himself up for that, guys.
Yeah,
he opened himself up and he nailed it. Oh, he hit the ring post that time.
Whoa, baby!
How about that, Mike?
Incredible move by Rey Jr. He's going to try and capitalize now. That is it! We talked about that Frankensteiner-style move down in Mexico. They call it a Huracan Rana. And he got across the apron and nailed Psychosis on the floor.
I believe they're both out, too. It's going to be hard to get up from this situation. Referee's giving a little leeway here. Need to get in the ring, start some counting.
No question about it. That was as a high-risk maneuver as you'll find in this sport.
And they're getting back to their feet. Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely. Well, they know to win a match, it's got to be in the ring to get the 1, 2, 3 of the submission. On top.
Great springboard into the Huracan Rana.
1, 2. No! Did not get it.
He drove him through there, though. I'll tell you what, Iron Mike, he really nailed him.
He didn't have him there. He's not going to get him.
Whips him in, and that's a drop kick on the knee. Right on the knee. And he'll try to single leg him down. Kick the other leg out.
Of course, Psychosis known for his high-risk daredevil moves. I mean, his name says it all, Psycho. And now Rey Mysterio Jr. trying to ground Psychosis.
There's another psycho guy in this building. That is the Macho Man Randy Savage. And he is the psycho that we want at the right time in the hostile takeover match still to come.
You know, if you think about it, Eric Bischoff's missing, you know, something could happen to us here. I know we got security around us.
Well, that's right. That's why they're here, Brain.
Boy, that Brain can call him. He can call him like he sees him.
It's not comfortable sitting here. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we're obviously worried, but still a lot of excitement in the air, a lot of butterflies.
Well,
and
what's he doing here?
I have no idea, but if you want to take the high flying away from Psychosis, tie him up in the rope, and then drop kick him at your mercy.
And there's nowhere to go.
No, he had his legs split out there.
Staked him out in the corner, followed with the drop kick.
Staked him out. I like that.
Got a 2 count and hooked the rope underneath.
Staked him out in the corner. He's got him now. Go back to what we said, Iron Mike. When can you put a guy away? These two guys right here. I mean, when's the time to go for the win?
Psychosis is one of those wrestlers, as we see him with that drop toe hold. He's been in Rey Mysterio Jr.'s shadow from the beginning. He's trying to spoil his shot at stardom from Mexico to Japan and now here in WCW.
Into a head scissors, as you can see, Jimmy Jet checking the head of Rey Mysterio. Notice how the knees are firmly against the side of the head. A lot of pressure, a lot of strength in the legs of Psychosis. Of course, one of the top high flyers. He would have a lot of leg strength, and that's a pretty good maneuver. But the ropes caused the break that time. And back up again. It looks like Mysterio may be winded here. He goes up.
Well, if he wasn't, he is now.
Wow, and I tell you what, the ropes had to hurt, but thank goodness for the ropes, or he would have hit the steps flush that time.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be in Orlando.
I think maybe you're right, or out on A1A somewhere. Inverted DDT, how about it? On the back of the head, and Mysterio doing it. That's pretty good to roll out of the ring.
But not really, because they'll come out of the ring on you.
Yeah,
over the top rope or any place.
Can get pinned out there with a 1-2-3, trying to buy some time.
Oof, dropped him neck first across that steel guardrail.
You know, let's also bring up this point. We've talked about it many times. Mysterio is not the biggest man we've ever seen. As a matter of fact, he is one of the smallest. Therefore, you can pick him up with ease like that and execute moves on him like Psychosis did.
Where's he going now? Up.
And down.
Oh! That's called a senton. A back splash delivered from the top rope all the way to the floor. What an incredible move.
That's called a call for the blotter.
That's what it is. The senton worked to perfection. Jimmy Jet is checking. Both men are dazed, as you can see.
Anytime there's a high-risk maneuver like that, though, both guys take a tremendous impact. But you see Junior laying out there right now. Now might be the time to go ahead and roll him in and go ahead and go for the victory right here. As you said, Iron Mike, he has been a thorn in Psychosis' side from day one. Stardom Psychosis wants. Stardom to get here at WCW, he has to pin Rey Mysterio Jr.
And Junior is hurt.
Wow.
Enziguri style kick to the back of the head from Psychosis.
Where do you get all these names?
1, 2.
You read walls?
A 2 count. Well, actually, Brain, sometimes you just don't know them, you make them up. Got a 2 count.
Brain, he studies his vocation.
He's a plumber.
Look at this camel clutch style hold applied by Psychosis.
Well, he might uncle him right here. He tried to, ripping at his mouth now.
Look, a 21-year-old kid's got no teeth.
We have seen a lot more submission-style wrestling from Psychosis here, Mike, than we have from Rey Mysterio. He's been content with using the high-risk maneuvers.
I think that's probably what we'll see as this match goes on. We'll see Rey Jr. Try and mount a comeback with those high-risk moves, and I think we'll see Psychosis pretty much rely on that submission style.
Psychosis should take advantage right now. He took everything out of Junior when he landed off that top rope on the floor on top of him. He should constantly keep working on that back. Keep him grounded.
Good positioning for the hammerlock. Straddles the man, and notice how Mysterio tries to get up. Now he's going to try to counter this one. He is using the legs. Actually, hip tossed him down that time.
A fake move there by Rey Jr.
He got a back elbow, now a cartwheel.
Cartwheel.
How about it? Down he goes.
Beautiful.
Tremendous spinning flying head scissors took Psychosis all the way to the floor.
And he's back on his feet. They're both on their feet. That's amazing.
And the fans appreciate and love this action, I can tell you that. Kept using the middle.
I don't know if
Turnbuckle.
Psychosis like that so much.
What a spring that was.
Watch this shot here.
Here we go again.
Be careful, kid.
What can they do? What will they do next? Another Frankensteiner!
Well, we told you he can come from anywhere, any angle at any time, and he came up with an incredible move, that Frankensteiner style Huracan Rana off the top post by Rey Jr. all the way down to the floor.
You know, just thinking about what happened there, how close it was for Psychosis' forehead to hit the apron there, and that could have been fatal.
We said that earlier. A move like that, both men can be taken out and seriously hurt, and maybe even permanently. And I know one thing, Iron Mike, that these two guys right here showcased here at WCW. I guarantee you this is worth the price of admission, my friend.
And you notice the referee's giving him a little
I
leeway.
was talking to Iron Mike.
Oh, excuse me.
What a great way to kick off the pay-per-view.
Talking to Iron Mike.
Got a lateral press from the spring on the top and got only up 2.
So important to watch the swings and offensive momentum during this matchup. The high-risk moves that backfire obviously will create those changes in momentum.
Reversal in. Here he goes again. Drop kicked out of it that time.
Tony, be quiet. He's going to talk to Iron Mike in a minute.
All right, well, only thing you got to do is nudge me, Dream, when you want to walk the Iron Man. Up
Whoa,
on top
look at this.
again. Another drop kick. He's in the ropes of the springboard, and he goes sliding all the way to the other side.
They haven't used much of the ring. They've just been passing through it a lot.
That's right. Here he goes again. From the middle. Oh, he hit his knee. He hit his knee.
A twisting Acai-style moonsault, but it looks like Rey Mysterio Jr. may have crashed and burned by hitting his leg on the guardrail.
An acai hip lock? What are you talking about?
Well, I tell you what, the bottom line is he hit his knee on the guardrail. Whether he can get up now, I don't know.
What is this, being seen live in Bosnia?
I don't know. But I do know that, well, it's a wonder Mysterio could even stand. And he's pulling himself back in the ring.
He has slowed down a lot.
Yeah, he really has. But you talking about determination. He's up on top again into a power bomb. He caught him. Great timing by Psychosis.
This is it.
1, 2, and now he kicked away. Oh, my. Oh, my.
How do you beat these two?
Incredible resilience on the part of Rey Mysterio Jr. He has the ring savvy of a veteran, but at the same time, the reflexes of a 21-year-old.
Oh!
Put him up in that shoulder breaker style move and then ran him stomach first, abdomen first, right across the top turnbuckle.
The lower abdomen, I might add, and I tell you, a forearm shot to the lower back, and I have no idea.
Look at this. Look at this.
It's almost a backslide.
In certain parts of the world, it's called Splash Mountain. Other places on Niagara. But he blocked it.
got him.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa, yes.
In the words of the late Mel Allen, how about that?
Yeah, holy cow, Phil Rizzuto.
Now, like Harry Carwood says, I'll have one.
Would you please? It was a spectacular move that we have never seen before and maybe we'll never see again.
Well,
But
these
against
two
the
men are
wind.
going to be sore tomorrow morning and tonight. They're going to be sore for a long time. This was a tremendous, tremendous athletic wrestling match.
What a great way to kick off this Bash at the Beach pay-per-view.
Tell you what, war paint everywhere. They love it. As Bash in the Beach continues, here it is again. Brain, take a look at some of this.
Well, Junior comes off that top rope to the floor with some kind of an inverted Frankensteiner. I don't know what this is called. This is called a Frankensteiner. You people watch it and figure it out. I can't call it. I don't use the words Tenay does. This is a dissing horse and a backflip there.
A dissing horse, good.
Something like
Your
that.
winner is Rey Mysterio Jr. Here it is again. That was the winner, but we thought, wow, it actually hit his.
That's to keep him from
hit his-
flapping.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hit his Achilles tendon that time. Your winner is Rey Mysterio. Our thanks to Mike today as we go to Mean Gene.
From Disney MGM Studios, it's for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, set for one fall. Introducing first the challenger from Tijuana, Mexico, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Rey Mysterio Jr. Fans, last night, WCW's Bash at the Beach was certainly an electrifying event. This young man right here, Rey Mysterio, moves we have never seen before in this sport against Psychosis. He is certainly a man who is revolutionizing our sport as we know it.
Well, he's revolutionizing it in the way of speed. This man extremely fast on his feet. One of the fastest wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. He's going to need that speed, Tony. Dean Malenko's proved it again last night at Bash at the Beach. He is a man of 1,000 holds. If he catches Rey Mysterio Jr., he can hook him.
His opponent from Tampa, Florida, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion. He's the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko, the Iceman, and I said that the Disco Inferno turned it up as you take a look at our crowd on hand here at the Disney MGM Studios as we come to you live. And certainly the Iceman and Rey Mysterio, no strangers at all. Ladies and gentlemen, we will show you in the second hour of this telecast. We want you to call everyone you know. If you're a wrestling fan, if you're not a wrestling fan, if you know people who know the name of Hulk Hogan, they know him legendary, not only in wrestling, but throughout the entertainment world. You tell your friends, family members to tune in, second hour of this television program, and as we said, show you the pictures of one of the most incredible, bizarre set of circumstances.
Unmanly.
Turn of events in the history, the most bizarre, unmanly turn of events in the history of our sport. All right, it's Rey Mysterio trying to go behind Dean Malenko. Mysterio, the high flyer. Malenko, the mat wrestler. Already we got a lateral press and we got a 1 count. Malenko on top here, Larry.
Well, Malenko's going to stay on top as long as Mysterio Jr. isn't moving. And right now, Malenko's throwing him away, but I wouldn't do that. He ran into one.
Up on top, down goes Dean Malenko. Rey Mysterio on the attack again. Here he goes. Trying a hip toss. Over the top, arm drag takedown once again. And Malenko takes the low road here.
Yeah, Malenko went out, but whoa, where's he going?
Ladies and gentlemen, the circumstances surrounding last night by no means overshadow the fact, and we didn't mention it at the top, we need to mention it now, the Nature Boy Ric Flair is the new United States Heavyweight Champion. In this telecast, second hour, we will have the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Jim Powers for the U.S. Heavyweight title. Sting is here against Arn Anderson in our second hour. You know Sting's got a lot on his mind, as well as the Macho Man. Over the top here, he caught him in midair, and Lex Luger. Up on top, Mysterio, sliding down the back, and Malenko missed with a punch that time.
Malenko's got to be frustrating. Great wrestler, but he can't catch this guy. Nice drop kick off the second rope. Mysterio Jr. utilizing his speed greatly right there.
He is phenomenal. Here's a lateral press and a 1 and a 2. We almost had a new Cruiserweight champion.
I don't count Malenko out that fast. On the mat, this guy's at home. He threw him off.
Got a 2 count that time.
2 count. If Malenko can slow him down now, I think he'll be easy pickings, but boy, it's hard to wrestle a man when you can't grab him.
Sends him in.
That's
a backbreaker.
He grabbed him.
Ladies and gentlemen, also in this telecast, we will have a match between the Steiners and the Nasty Boys. The winner will get a shot at the World Tag Team Champs Harlem Heat. Coming up at our next big pay-per-view event from Sturgis, South Dakota, Hog Wild on Saturday, the 10th of August. And in this telecast, we'll tell you, here's the lateral press. 1, 2, if you miss Bash at the Beach, how you can see it tomorrow, the encore presentation on pay-per-view.
Malenko right there, nice reverse surfboard hold here on Mysterio. Malenko's going to try to do anything he can to slow this kid down.
We had to step out for a break. We'll be back, and we're live from Disney MGM this week on Nitro. Stay with us. We are back live from the Disney MGM studios. Hour 1 of 2 hours of WCW Monday Nitro. Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio Jr. really cutting it up here for the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Up and down. Oh, my goodness.
So far, Dean Malenko's way ahead on points. Did a great job in slowing down Rey Mysterio Jr. Right there, I think Malenko just takes his time right now. It's a matter of minutes. He'll beat this guy.
Of course, fans, we are 1 day removed from the most disgusting night in the history of our sport. Here's a 1 and a 2. If you missed Bash at the Beach last night, ladies and gentlemen, the encore presentation available on pay-per-view tomorrow. We encourage you, if you want to see it again or if you missed it for some reason, to call your local cable operator. It is tomorrow night, the encore presentation of WCW's Bash at the Beach. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, in the second hour, let everybody you know call them right now, because we will show you the sights, the pictures of what you said is unmanly.
The most unmanly act of unmanliness I've seen in over 20 glorious years.
And you know, in the time that I have done this telecast, in the times that I've worked on WCW Saturday Night, I never thought I'd see anything like that. Here's a roll-up. 1, 2.
Whoa!
Never thought I would see anything like that, but I guess I've really seen it all now. And I really want to take a second to apologize to some of the fans for some of the comments I made last night. They were really out of line, but sometime when you get emotional, things like that happen.
Yeah, well, the FCC's got a letter coming out to you, by the way.
Those things happen, Larry, and I can't apologize for my emotions.
Well, I don't think Malenko's going to be apologizing to Mysterious Jr. here. He just hung him out in the top rope. This kid bounced out, landed right here on the mat, getting up real slow. Again, this isn't beat the clock. This is beat the punk. Malenko just takes his time here. I think he's got this one sewn up.
Malenko, the type of athlete that knows how to use the entire ring, and there was evidence right there to win a match or to hurt an opponent. And right now, after hanging him up on the top rope, he is content with a reverse chinlock on Rey Mysterio Jr. You know, two men very much the same in that Malenko is expressionless. There's body scissors on right now. And of course, when you got the mask on, it masks and cloaks your expression as well.
Well, you can't see the expression under the mask, but Malenko's never changes because he is 100% focused. He is a wrestling machine. And right here, he's got the leg stitches on, pulling back. He's got that wrist right under the nose bone of Rey Mysterio Jr. A lot of pain in that area of the face. Just keep it on again. Malenko's smart in there. He'll tie you up, take his time, let you make the mistake.
And that's what he's doing, but right now, Mysterio's in the ropes. On the far side, Malenko, you see the 1,000 on his trunks, dumps him outside, and Malenko now pretty content with going on the outside here after Mysterio.
Well, let me tell you why. He doesn't want to give Mysterio any chance to recover. He wants to keep this kid slow and on the ground.
Over the past 24 hours, a lot of things have gone through the minds of the personnel of World Championship Wrestling. A lot of things have gone through the minds of the fans of World Championship Wrestling, of the fans of Hulk Hogan. Never before in the history of our sport have we received as many telegrams, as many phone calls. Of course, we have been here in Orlando with our offices here at the Disney MGM studio, but never before have we fielded so many calls. Total disbelief.
Well, the world's in shock again. I mean, the degree of unmanliness was just ridiculous.
A scoop and a slam, showing his power advantage here. 1, 2, and a 2 count that time. As Mysterio really showing a lot of perseverance here, Larry.
Well, Rey Mysterio Jr., I mean, the guy's got heart. He's a fighter. He doesn't want to give up. Oh, he fell on top of the line.
1 and 2 and a...
Oh, come on.
Got a 2 count. Sending Mysterio in, this tremendous athlete from Mexico. Up. Trying to victory roll him over the top. Malenko tries to hold on. Is that a disqualification or not? Apparently not. Mysterio! Oh, my goodness.
I think he went to nail Malenko, but he was off a bit. Malenko.
He's not moving either.
He fell down hard, but Mysterio Jr., he landed right smack on his front on that cement.
I think that's actually asphalt. No, that is cement. I guess it doesn't matter.
Cement.
I guess it doesn't matter, but he's not moving.
It doesn't matter. It didn't happen to me.
Boy, he's trying to shake it off, but what concerns me about Mysterio is the legs. They are his... Look, and he kicks him. He's back into it. Oh, this youngster is something else.
Bad break for Malenko here. But wait a minute, he's up on top.
Incredible Frankenstein over the top. 1, 2.
Oh.
And it kicked out into...
Look at it again.
My goodness.
Malenko's face still doesn't change expression. He's still thinking. Too close to the ropes right there.
Use the top rope as a springboard into 1 and a 2 and a... Again, Malenko showing not only is he a champion, he's a man who can fight as well and can escape near falls time and time again. But look at the Iceman up top.
Yeah, he headbutted him right in the solar plex.
He's gonna, what is he gonna do, a crucifix here?
I think he can go either way.
Oh, my goodness. He lifted him off the top, put him down with a gutbuster from the heavens. 1, 2, and no, he pulled him up.
Don't do that after you beat the man, then pull him up.
That may be a critical mistake and may come back to haunt the Iceman here.
Either that or a lot of overconfidence in the mind of Malenko. Maybe the guy's just upset. He wants to punish this guy.
Send him in. Belly to belly over the top. Lateral press here, Malenko. 1, 2, and he's gonna pull him up again.
Well, I don't like to see that. Malenko, is no nonsense as he is. I don't see why he's doing that. He must have some kind of personal vendetta against this guy.
Apparently so. He'll send Mysterio in. Frankenstein him down. 1, 2, 3. We've got a new champion. We've got a new cruiserweight champion. Can you believe this?
I don't believe this.
What a way to open it up. He's a champ, and he earned every bit of it.
He didn't earn it, Malenko. He made 2 big mistakes.
Larry, he earned that. He pinned him 1, 2, 3.
He was lucky that Malenko pulled him up. I don't know what got into Malenko's head, Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first match at WCW Hog Wild is for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Set for 1 fall. Introducing first the challenger from Nagoya, Japan, the Ultimate Dragon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, take a look at this sea of people and of the motorcycles we have here. As Hog Wild kicks off, the Ultimate Dragon, along with Sonny Ono, and a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship. And we welcome to our broadcast location a man who anchors the Wrestling Insider, a man who's part of the WCW Hotline, Mike Tenay. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Tony. We're going to open up this spectacle from Sturgis with two of the most spectacular international talents in the profession today.
And let me say this before we get ranked up. Aren't you a little overdressed for the occasion, Brain?
What do you mean? I have.
Where's your leather jacket? Where's your denims? Where's your tattoo?
I don't have a tattoo.
How about your do-rag? Don't you have one?
No, I don't do. I don't draw on myself. Are you going to show that to your wife when you get home? Are you going to show her the other one? You can't show anybody?
Exactly.
His opponent from Tijuana, Mexico, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Here he is, the Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio Jr. Mike, before this match gets underway, we talked so much about what happened on Nitro recently, and we saw the mask taken off of Rey Mysterio Jr. by the medical team. That, for someone like Rey Mysterio Jr. to have his mask taken off is quite an event in itself.
You're correct, Tony.
First of all, Mike, let me interject something here. When they took that mask off, the doctor came over and he gave his analysis of what he thought the situation was, and he said the man was terminally ugly.
Okay, I tell you, we have to step out here, ladies and gentlemen. For our fans on TBS, we're going to step out. The only way you can see the remainder of this is on pay-per-view. TBS, good night. Woo! We continue here on pay-per-view. Mike Tenay, let's talk about the mask coming off of Rey Mysterio as we were continuing there.
Tony, as you mentioned, the mask and the legend of the mask in Mexico, unparalleled. To have him unmasked on national television, headline news throughout Mexico. And it was, I think the big question in this matchup is going to be, can Rey Mysterio Jr. bounce back from that attack at the hands of the Outsiders?
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Ultimate Dragon. We've been talking about Rey Mysterio. Our fans have seen him for the last month or so. They know about him. What about the Ultimate Dragon here?
Well, it's the first ever meeting between these two. Despite many parallels during their career, interestingly enough, earlier this year in Los Angeles at Inoki's Wrestling Peace Festival, in the match that WCW executives discovered Rey Mysterio Jr., his tag team partner in that matchup was Ultimo Dragon. Amazingly enough, they hook it up today with the Cruiserweight title at stake. Not that unusual in Japan and Mexico to see tag partners go head-to-head, especially when a major championship is at stake like tonight.
What does the Ultimate Dragon got to do to take this victory home? That's an important thing. Both of them possess the speed. Both of them got the knowledge as we've seen. They both know each other. So Rey Mysterio Jr. to me is a phenomenon. So what does Dragon need to do, Mike Tenay, on this pay-per-view to take this thing home?
Well, Dusty, I think strategically there's no question these are two of the supreme flyers in our profession. Don't sell either man short when it comes to mat work. Knowledge of submissions cannot be overlooked. When you go from an experience standpoint, you have to give the edge to the Dragon at 29 years of age, already in his 10th year as a pro. Rey Jr., the human highlight film of wrestling, just 21 years old, but remember, he turned pro at the age of 14.
That is absolutely unheard of, turning pro at age of 14, Brandon.
Well, then you have to understand something, too. Rey Mysterio Jr. was just picked up like a yard dart and thrown into the side of a building by one of the Outsiders. So I'm telling you, he's not 100% right now. And not only that, are they quick? Are they fast? Are they good? Yes. And they're also ugly, or they wouldn't hide their face.
I don't think that is the case. There's a step over, and Grape finds a leg. You know, it was Rey Mysterio who first told the world that he saw a fourth man. Will that fourth man rear his head tonight as a member of the New World Order? Ladies
Rear
and
his ugly head, if you will.
Thank you.
Yes.
We will have to wait and see. But be that as it may, he did take quite a bump on the head the other night at Nitro. There's a hard slam. Rey Mysterio has been nothing less, Mike, and you would agree with this, with the wrestling fans here in the United States, a sensation.
Absolutely one of the greatest additions to the World Championship Wrestling talent roster in years, and he is very proud to hold that Cruiserweight Championship. Ultimo Dragon, interesting background. In the mid-'80s, he trained in the New Japan Dojo. Amazingly enough, he was deemed not good enough to make the grade, and on his own, not knowing a word of Spanish, he traveled down to Mexico City. He moved to Mexico City, and he became such a hot property in Mexico that within a couple of years, the Japanese were actually begging him back.
But don't forget something, Mike. If you don't have to speak English in Mexico. If you got 35 pesos in your hand or $8, you're pretty well going to live good.
Oh, will you stop it?
Here's the whip to the far side. Ultimo Dragon, look at the quickness of it. Oh! How about that? Sending Rey Mysterio down.
Yeah, and now that I got Mike Tenay out here and he taught me what that was, now you ask him what that was.
So what was it?
It was a leaping, spinning...
Spin wheel kick.
Spin wheel kick. And that's what I said, and you didn't believe me.
Spinning wheel kick.
Exactly.
That's good.
And Iron Mike is right here to tell you that it is.
Into a standing switch, Ultimo Dragon sent back. Rey Mysterio using the ropes as only he can do, but Ultimo Dragon will step ahead. They're just trying to show each other up here now with those moves. There's a lateral press.
So much
leg
speed,
sweep.
yeah, so much speed, so much quickness both these guys possess.
You know, it's a good chance if they'd have been in the Olympics, they'd have both won the gold.
They could have with that.
Could have.
That quickness.
On the crossbar and anything you want to talk about, on the beam, on the rings.
Tony, in the evolution of high-flying moves, Ultimo Dragon, a very important figure. From a timeline perspective, if Jushin Liger was termed revolutionary, Dragon then took things to the next level, and now we're seeing how Rey Mysterio Jr. has taken those moves to a higher plane.
Yeah, like Tony said, you know, Iron Mike, everybody, you know, these two young men trying to outdo each other, and all the moves they have, you see them kicks, really taking it to him right there. But I believe we talked about it before. I'm talking about they can make a mistake and come back, Iron Mike. We've seen that. Some guys can't, but the big mistake will cost the guy. And I think a big mistake here will cost the guy the win.
You said Mysterio.
I'm talking about big, you know.
That mistake, you're right, the momentum change in the mistake on a high-risk move will probably decide this matchup.
And it decides many of the matches in the Cruiserweight division because of the quickness. Because of not only that, because of the endurance of the wrestlers in the Cruiserweight division.
You know, you talk about conditioning, how everybody trains, how they watch films, how they work out hard. They all do that. They all do that in this Cruiser division. They all do that in WCW. But these men are so quick, so fast, the only way you can really determine a match is going to be luck.
Up on top. Running power bomb. Oh my, that was on target. We could have a Cruiserweight champion if he'd bothered to cover the guy.
Wasting too much time.
What about this,
amigo?
Had him with that running power bomb. I cannot believe he didn't go for the cover, Tony. Very arrogant move on the part of Dragon. Sets him up now for a variation of the figure four if he rocks back and caps the leg, and he does.
He did it, and the Ultimate Dragon, as Nick Patrick is checking in, may be on the verge of being the new Cruiserweight champion.
He's got it hooked in real good, and I have felt this hole right here. I know for a fact that Rey Mysterio Jr. understands how to get out of this thing. Whether he can or not, we will really take a hard, cold look. Needs to turn it over, Iron Mike. Needs to get him out of the way and regroup himself, Bobby Brain.
And don't forget something, Dusty Rhodes. You've used this hold before.
Yes, I have.
You've won a lot of matches with this hold.
Yes, but not on Rey Mysterio Jr.
Well, that's true.
We know that.
See, that's what I was saying, Iron Mike.
Momentum is so important in professional wrestling, and Dragon has to be categorized as a wrestler on a roll. Just last week in Japan, he made it all the way to the finals of the J-Crown. That's a tournament with 8 different junior heavyweight champions from around the world, and he defeated, listen to this, Jushin Thunder Liger, incredibly, in 2.5 minutes, and he turned around the night after that and beat our first Cruiserweight champion, Shinjiro Otani, as well.
2.5 minutes.
I think while on the subject of Jushin Liger, our best wishes go out to him. Tuesday of this week, Liger was diagnosed with a brain tumor. We wish him a speedy recovery and a quick return to the ring.
Yes, sir, we sure do. What a great athlete, and our hearts are out with him at WCW where the big boys play. Now, you see this guy here? That's the snake in the rice paddy. That is not a snake in the grass like Jimmy Hart. We're talking about a snake in the rice paddy right here.
Look at this! Look at this!
Almost a variation of Luger's torture rack.
It's like a coat hanger.
Almost like a crucifix-type maneuver. Now the question is he going to drop down with him?
Now, how do you get out of this? How do you get out of this? Oh!
Well, that's one way. Once again, Will Dragon covering. Iron Mike making a mistake, I believe, right there.
I'm really amazed that Dragon is not going for the cover. This is easily the most high-profile U.S. match in Dragon's career, and his first appearance ever on a pay-per-view. Certainly a milestone for this youngster.
Well, that's what he's doing. He realizes there's millions and millions of people watching the pay-per-view, watching WCW all over the world, and he wants to show off his wares. But he might waste too much time, and it might backfire on him.
Had him up in that upside-down surfboard, that Rito Romero special, as the hold is called in Mexico.
Yes.
And you know what was called before that? The Cesar Romero special.
No, it was not. It was not. You were wrong. It was not Cesar Romero.
Yes, he had big high shoes. He used to dance.
Okay, I'll have to referee this one all night.
How about the Desi Arnaz?
Into the ropes. A handspring in, and then Rey Mysterio, so agile, Up on top! Kick into the back of the head, will move!
Great springboard drop kick by Ray Jr. sends Dragon to the floor. Baseball slide all the way down to the dirt.
And the Ultimate Dragon is out.
He just dropped kicked him with Sturgis to Rapid City.
Look at this.
Oh! How about that?
Springboard plancha by Ray Jr. springing off the top rope
Speak
and
English.
nailing Ultimo Dragon on the ground.
Would you listen to him?
That is
Springboard Quanta.
Yes.
that is not your typical springboard to the floor. I mean, the ring is up on a pedestal here. We've said that before. That was a long way to go, and I'm not so sure the Dragon can continue here.
I tell you what, it was lucky for me that both men can be able to get up from that situation. And that is one of them things that come along, guys, that when it happens and you do make a mistake, you do miss, then you might miss for good. I'm talking about going ahead and getting your lights put out and the other guy getting the win.
And I think the most dangerous thing here today is the ring is elevated here because of Sturgis, because of our television. It's got to be, what, 10, 12 feet in the air.
Yes.
So you go to the ground there, over the top rope, you're talking 15 feet.
Here we go.
Oh, my
How
God.
about that?
Oh,
Tremendous move off the top by Ray Jr. Frankensteiner style Huracan run, as it's called in Mexico. And he's now ready to make the cover on Dragon if he can bring him out to the middle of the ring.
Tries to follow up with something, sitting the Dragon in. He shifts gears. Handspring over the top. Shoulder block, and that set him up. Springboard off the top. Into a drop kick. Into a drop kick. Ultimo Dragon on target. He says, referee, get out of my way.
Fake move by Dragon. Catches Ray Jr. off guard and then catches him through the ropes with that variation of the drop kick. Slingshot move off over the top by Dragon.
I believe he could cover him right there if he needed to, but he's got to get down and roll him back in the ring. You can't get a victory out here outside. What moves, what speed, what power we are seeing right here in Sturgis. Everybody's attention turned to this ring. I guarantee you one thing, hard-fought battles are won at the end by the guy that is trained the best and reaches down and brings that intestinal fortitude out. And I know the Latin community guys have that and that comeback. So both these guys right here are I really believe I might a little bit injured from that last move.
No question about it.
Both of them.
Last two moves, as a matter of fact,
I was
from the
talking
top
to
of the
Iron
floor.
Mike.
Over the top.
Oh!
Great waist
He's
lock
got
by
him.
German.
He got him. No! I thought he had him.
And so did Ultimo Dragon. As a matter of fact, he's doing a lot of complaining here. Dragon just put him up against the ropes. Springboard's off.
He calls that his quebrada.
See, he doesn't go for the cover.
Moonsault off the middle rope.
I think he's totally baffled here by the American rules.
Well, I don't know if the rules are any different, are they, Iron Mike?
I think a 1-2-3 will win in Mexico as well.
I know, but he's
Moonsault,
not going for it.
1, 2. We do not yet have a new Cruiserweight champion.
Rey Mysterio Jr. holds a unique distinction. He's a major star in Mexico, Japan, and the U.S. And with a win in this bout, Dragon could join that exclusive club and in one night become a star in the U.S.
Forward roll, head scissor out of it. Rey Mysterio, the type of athlete that can take your offense, least when you expect it, and turn it against you. And there was a case right there. Both men are obviously shaken from the grueling pace of this match.
You know, you talk about the grueling pace. This hasn't stopped since the bell rang.
No,
They've been going full throttle, full bore all the time.
Going up top.
That's it here.
And setting up
WCW.
that Frankensteiner. Great block by Dragon.
Yeah, he
Nice
saw it.
counter.
Try it again. A little bit more momentum to get him over. 1, 2, 3. He wins it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio Jr.
That was one for perseverance. That's a good indication of if you ain't got it right the first time, go back and get it again, Mike.
He certainly did, Tony. Went to the well twice with that Frankensteiner attempt. The second time connecting, springing up off the middle rope and nailing Dragon and retaining the Cruiserweight Championship.
Shut up.
Let's take a look. Monday Nitro, still to come in hour number 2. Ric Flair, Arn Anderson together against the Rock and Roll Express. They are former tag team champions many times over. Plus, the one that everybody is talking about.
You know, I don't like that. I've even heard Sting, let's talk about a test or a gut check or whatever, but Sting's got to remember, life comes with no no guarantees of anything. They just should avoid the situation, sit down, come up with a strategy for War Games.
War Games, of course,
Got the belt,
is coming
Dean.
your way.
I know you want it. Why don't you come and get it?
In a little bit less than 3 weeks now, about 2 weeks and 6 odd days or so. And of course, that comes your way on Sunday, September 15th. In that event, as we've been talking about, Sting, Lex Luger with Ric Flair and Arn Anderson as their partners against members of the NWO, Hulk Hogan, Hall and Nash, the Outsiders. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the spectacular Cruiserweight Champion Rey Mysterio against JL in this Cruiserweight title match right before you live here on Nitro, and here we go.
I think I'm going to start investing in the mask market.
I think you're probably right. I mean, we are having an influx of superstars from Mexico. JL, very mysterious. He is not from Mexico. He has spent a lot of time in Japan, being very successful over there, but also a man who went a long way in that Cruiserweight tournament when it was held back earlier in the year. Had a surprise win over Dean Malenko, who eventually won the Cruiserweight Championship and who lost it to Rey Mysterio Jr.
Now, we got so many competitors, you know, at that high caliber level of athletic ability and well, the competition, you know, it's just too hard to call. I mean, even this match here, Rey Mysterio Jr. has the belt, but it's a toss of the coin.
Rey Mysterio using the arm and pulling on it, showing that he is a mat wrestler, a man who has a lot of holds. Of course, the man known of a man of 1,000 holds is Dean Malenko. Mysterio, the man who has made his living on the top. And we're talking about on the top rope with those high-risk maneuvers it is. And now JL showing here he wants to ground him, Larry.
Well, some guys have a lot more size. Rey Mysterio Jr. gives up a lot of weight. He has to rely on high-risk maneuvers. He doesn't have the power to bull it out, get it on the mat. But again, high risks have high price tags.
No question about an arm drag. Look at that drop kick. Mysterio showing how quick he is on his feet.
Don't turn your back. JL just cut him a break.
We've been informed. I've been told by Craig Leathers that Hulk Hogan is outside.
What?
We're outside. Is he talking about with the outs? There they are. Our cameras made it outside. Hulk Hogan, this is out back. What's he going to do now? He's got someone with a light standard. Oh, fans, just, we could go off the air here at any
He's
time.
stealing a light.
What's he doing here? He's out there. You see our video truck. That's a Turner Broadcasting System video truck, and he is spray painting. He is spray painting on the video truck. Can we get security out there? Oh, you talking about a bunch of cowards. It's really easy when everybody's inside just to.
Well, there's no one in there but little guys.
Oh, would you give me a break? This is absolutely sickening. They are spray painting.
You think they get the message?
What are they saying here? NWO for life?
Yeah, it's easy to shoot off your mouth when no one's around.
I can tell you right now, you're talking about 3 guys who come out of the dark and write this. There's going to be some bills coming down from Turner Broadcasting. I certainly hope those three. I hope those 3 men have insurance. And I can tell you this right now. You know what I think after seeing this and what I've seen over the past couple of weeks? There's not a 4th man. There are 3 men. And there's going to be 3 men, I bet you, going in the cage against 4 men representing WCW. And this War Game is going to be our chance to get back at these thugs. Hulk Hogan has become, from the greatest superstar in our sport, to a street thug is what he's become. That's all he is.
Obviously, the guy went bananas here. Head
All right,
got much bigger than his neck.
This is disgusting. We're going to take a break and we'll be back.
The 90s, Hogan happens.
They're jerks. All right, we are back and we are live on Nitro. Tony Schiavone, Larry Zbyszko, as we begin our countdown now to hour number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the comments, but I can tell you this, that was vandalism. And here are guys who've attacked announcers, who've attacked wrestlers with baseball bats, who have now vandalized someone else's personal property.
Well, it's vandalism on film. I think Hogan should pay for the entire new paint job on that 18-wheeler.
I don't agree with that at all. There you see Rey Mysterio Jr. send JL on the outside, and watch out. This youngster gets moving. It is sensational. He put the brakes on there.
But he's got guts to do it. Nailed him.
Over the top. He is so agile. And there you see Dean Malenko, former Cruiserweight champion, out. And you know what he's looking at, Larry.
Yeah, look at that face. He's studying Rey Mysterio Jr. You know, the animosity they have, probably trying to figure out which one of the 1,000 holds he knows is the one he's going to need to beat Rey Mysterio and take back the belt.
And Mysterio sees him, obviously, and is just giving a little challenge here to the former champ, Dean Malenko. You know, I hope after Fall Brawl, there's not enough left of Hulk Hogan for Macho Man Randy Savage to get a hold of. I hope the Horsemen, I hope Sting and Luger, and I hope anyone else from WCW crawls in that cage and gives a lot of payback. Because on Sunday, September 15th, it is going to be WCW's day in the cage to get it all back on one fell swoop. I'm going to be there. I want to see a part of it. I want to see all this come to an end.
Well, there's definitely two priorities. One is eliminate the New World Order. Two is retain and take back the Holy Grail, and that's the heavyweight championship of the world, and get that stupid graffiti off of it.
That title belt has represented the greatest champions the sport has ever seen, beginning back in 1905. We're talking about 91 years worth of tradition, and they think they can just cover it up with black spray paint? I don't think so. And JL getting some payback of his own now. The fans have been wowed at the moves of Rey Mysterio, but JL's had enough.
You know, Mysterio fell for an old trick of the trade right there. JL just convinced him he was going to go behind for the referee's position ride, but when Rey Mysterio went into the referee's position, JL double-crossed him, and I like to see that.
Here's a pickup, JL. With ease, picks up Rey Mysterio. 1, 2. We almost had a new Cruiserweight champ there, Larry.
You know, I was thinking about what you said earlier. The New World Order may not have 4 or 5 guys. I mean, how many mindless sheep can Hogan dig up to follow him?
Well, what we have just seen is juvenile. You can get a bunch of kids out, and you can do that.
I could do that.
And that absolutely scared him. Over the top. 1, 2. And Rey Mysterio got a 2 count. You know, you think you got him, and you don't. He is so slippery. He is so quick, so fast.
Well, again, you know, I mean, principles of a wrestling science, sometimes the bigger you are, the easier it is to hurt somebody. Small guys sometimes are so flexible, you can't bend them enough to hurt them. A big neck is easier to break than a small, limber one.
Ah, okay.
Let me show you.
No, I'll pass on that.
Right here, JL can sit back down a little bit more. Puts tremendous pressure on the small of the back. Rey Mysterio Jr. just got to sit back a little bit more towards the shoulders.
Rey Mysterio in a lot of pain for this Boston Crab, applied by JL. And a good look at the WCW Cruiserweight champion. We saw earlier a young man, Juventud Guerrera, who will be seen coming up at Fall Brawl, who will be subbing for Psychosis in that Mexican Heavyweight Championship. We've seen Rey Mysterio Jr., Conan here in the audience. Super Calo will be coming here. Just as we said, this is where the international superstars come from, not only Mexico, from Japan, all points in between. World Championship Wrestling is where it's at. We do not have our world champ spray paint someone's video truck. And as we go now in our 1-minute countdown to hour number 2, fans, we want to remind you in hour number 2, Ric Flair, here's a cover, 1, 2, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson against the Rock and Roll Express. We're also going to have the Blue Bloods against the Steiners. And hold on to your seats for this one. It's going to be Benoit and Mongo McMichael against Lex Luger and Sting. Is that incredible or what?
Yeah, but it's not a good idea at this time.
2.
At this point in time, Tony, too close to Fall Brawl, too close to War Games. I think they should keep their distance.
20 seconds to go now before we send you to Eric Bischoff and Bobby the Brain Heenan. And at our 15-second mark, JL continues to try to wither the title away from Rey Mysterio Jr. At the 5-second mark for Larry Zbyszko, I'm Tony Schiavone. We send you to Eric Bischoff and Bobby the Brain Heenan for hour number 2 of Nitro. All right, thank you guys, and hello everybody.
to the hottest hour of wrestling programming each and every week. WCW Monday Nitro Live here on TNT. I'm Eric Bischoff along with Bobby the Brain Heenan, and we are in the middle of a cruiserweight title matchup. JL and Rey Mysterio Jr. And Bobby, this cruiserweight division is certainly everything that anybody could have possibly anticipated. Tremendous athletes from all over the world giving their best here in WCW.
And I noticed Dean Malenko earlier standing in the doorway there of the dressing room area just watching Rey Mysterio Jr. You know, he's the man who lost the title to Rey Mysterio Jr. And Dean Malenko's doing his homework. He wants that title back.
All right, and we're going to try to update you on the status of the Outsiders. We saw them a little bit earlier spray painting a truck. Hey, wow, I'm impressed, guys.
Well, that's a tough guy to do that.
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah, a little vandalism in their repertoire.
I wonder who's holding the truck.
Yeah, like I say, it's a trademark cheap shot, typical NWO move. They spray painted a truck. Oh, and Rey Mysterio Jr. is down. He is hurt.
3 of them spray painted the truck.
Well, they had fun. No doubt about it. I don't know who they were trying to impress. Back reverse sidekick there by Rey Mysterio Jr. Whoa! Takeover and JL down. JL been punishing Rey Mysterio Jr. Very physical moves throughout the match. Effectively, what he has done is slowed down the offense of Rey Mysterio Jr. JL has done a very good job at that. However, Rey Mysterio Jr. has been able to get back some momentum here in the last few moments. And he is up off the top. Oh man, did you see that? He stuck him.
He's not going anyplace. Go to your room.
Wow, head first. That hurt. The recipe
out
for
there.
a good concussion right there.
You're not close. I know you're here.
Current
Come on up here.
cruiserweight champion,
Right now.
Rey Mysterio Jr. Congratulations here on Nitro to Rey Jr. And right now, let's go to Mean Gene Okerlund.
As we go back to David Penzer, our next bout at Fall Brawl.
The next match is a one-fall contest for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Mexico City, Mexico, Super Callo.
Super Callo making his way to the ring. Mike Tenay joins us once again. Super Callo in a WCW pay-per-view event. Another superstar for the AAA promotion in Mexico, Mike.
Super Callo. Fragilistic.
I knew you were going to say that.
You have to.
I mean, I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
His opponent from Tijuana,
comes my man
Mexico,
right here.
the WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Is he ever proud of that belt he wears around his waist?
I got the cruiserweight
Mike, let me ask you a question. In Mexico again, all right? These 2 guys, this matchup, which with the great Latino fans, who would they favor in this thing? Who would they like to see win this match?
Well, both of these gentlemen very popular south of the border, but I think as far as superstar status in Mexican Lucha Libre, you're talking about Rey Mysterio Jr. Earlier, we tried to mention about Super Callo. This simply the biggest match of his 4-year career. This World's Championship shot at the Cruiserweight title. It's a golden opportunity to make a name for himself in the wrestling world. And unlike so many of the other Mexico-based AAA wrestlers that have come into WCW, like Conan and Psychosis, the like, they were established international stars. This is Callo's first real break outside of Mexico, the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah, what a playing field that is provided here for him by WCW. What an event for him to be on. Would he then be in a nervous mode going in there? Has he faced Rey Mysterio Jr. before? What does he need to do to take this victory, like you say, on the biggest night of his life, back to Mexico with him?
Well, there's no doubt that nerves, I'm sure, play a very, very big part in this matchup. You know, Super Callo is just 25 years old, but he's been around professional wrestling his entire life. Quick cover here in just a 1 count for Callo. Raised in a wrestling environment. He's a second-generation wrestler, even a younger brother who recently joined a AAA promotion, down in Mexico. I talked to him before this matchup through an interpreter, and he told us that family wrestling background makes it so important for him to make his mark in the business. And you're right, Dusty, what a pressure-packed situation to be put in, wrestling for a world's title on his first ever U.S. pay-per-view appearance, and he's just been in WCW for just a couple of weeks.
And does he realize that there's jam-packed here in Winston-Salem, but there's millions all over the world watching? That'll give you butterflies when you're young.
Boy, he sent Mysterio in with a lot of steam that time, showing a lot of power. Super Calo. Sima. Super Calo up on top again. Oh, a big elbow drop. So far, very impressive.
Tony, Super Calo gets both his look. We cover here and gets a 2 count. He gets both his look, his ring name from the #1 rap group in Mexico, Calo. They even went so far as to show their support. They gave him the name in the ring in a ceremony in Mexico.
Well, he's going to have trouble boarding an airplane looking like that.
I'll tell you what, opportunity knocking on this young man's door. Rey Mysterio Jr. seems to be in a mode tonight to where he really, I guess, understanding and being there around this guy, knows what this guy does. I haven't seen Rey really get off to the start that I thought he would, Mike. You know what I mean?
Dusty, I agree. Calo has grounded Rey Jr. in the opening minutes of this matchup, but as it progresses, I expect this to be similar to a high-scoring NBA game, all-out offensive battle. Obviously, Mysterio has that built-in advantage being the defending champion, but I think when you counter in and put in that underrated mat game that he has, his experience as well, Rey Mysterio gets the clear nod in this one for me.
Yeah, well, Calo's got to beat him. Rey don't have to beat him. I know he wants to. And I didn't need an interpreter to ask him that. I know. I went right up to him. Say,
shoulder in.
You need to beat this guy.
Don't ever think you don't need an interpreter.
Well, lordy-dordy. Boola, boola, boola.
Mysterio just so fast.
How is he going to go? Probably up and then down. He was planning something.
That unorthodox, almost unusual lucha libre Mexican style, often difficult to find, to be able to adapt by some of the U.S. wrestlers. I think the things that many of these AAA stars do in the ring, totally different than the American style. While we've seen the best that AAA has to offer here in WCW, we really haven't seen what I would term a pure lucha libre match. I'm expecting that from these two.
Oh!
1, 2. And he rolled up nicely, only got a 2 count. What do you consider a pure lucha libre match?
I was going to ask him, you know, this might be it. Let me key this on Mike, okay?
You want me to tell you?
No, I'll tell you. On Mike, it seems to me that they use a lot of leverage, whether it be the ropes, whether it be them springing off or seeing what they're doing now. Leverage is a big part, I think, of these guys, too. Is that right?
I agree, but I think the biggest thing is that some of the AAA stars that we've seen so far have been stars in Mexico, Japan as well. They've integrated so many of the different international styles where I expect this to be more of just a pure lucha libre style match for Mexico. Super Calo, he's just been in the States for a few weeks. He's yet to wrestle over in Japan. What a tremendous drop kick off the top corner by Calo. And he really has a style that's more suited to the lucha libre, not like we've seen from a Mysterio or a Conan, who has that combination style of both lucha libre as well as Japan and the U.S.
Well, Calo's knocked the stuffing out of himself.
Well, it's what you call high risk.
Yeah, but I think by now, as I Mike said, I think the butterflies might be gone. He's got to take care of his game now. You know what I mean?
Well, they're gone
I think by now he knows right now that I'll say it again, that he's kind of had the best of Rey Mysterio Jr. so far.
Watch this, watch this.
Up on top!
And that just proved my point right there.
Well, you're not kidding.
waiting for that.
You've got to now get Rey Mysterio back in that ring and pin him.
That's what you got to do. Count out's not going to do him any good here at all.
Not any good. But he's hurt himself.
Double axe handle on the back of the neck for good measure, and now rolls him in. Randy Anderson very lenient there with that 10 count. And a cover, 1, 2.
Okay, you're talking about referees, Iron Mike. Randy Anderson had to know these two guys' style. He had to talk to WCW. He had to know what's at stake in Mexico. Would you think he might say, okay, I'm going to be a little more open for the rules here in the lucha libre style that you're talking about?
I'm sure he is at this point, but I'm with you guys on this. I'm surprised that Rey Jr. has been almost totally on the defensive from the opening bell.
Well, Super Calo, like we said, looking, and like you talked about, Mike, looking to make a name for himself. his biggest match, he is rising to the occasion.
And don't forget, being champion, you defend that title a lot of different places. You're on a lot of airplanes. You're wrestling the top competition in the world, especially here at WCW. So he could be a little tired. He's maybe pacing himself. You never know what a man's doing in that ring.
No, I don't think so. I think that Callow's just doing a good job of executing his game plan, Mike.
He's had a great match. He's up on top. Oh, head scissors him down, using the top rope as a springboard, and now makes a cover. 1, 2, and no.
He made a deep cover, too.
Boy, did he ever.
What I like about this Callow, he's going for the win.
Yes, he is.
He's not kidding around with this guy. He don't care if he's hurt or anything. He wants to win this. He wants that title.
I have to agree with Bobby's comment. You look at the combination of this ultra competitive division, the incredibly hectic international schedule, Mysterio headlining cards in Tokyo one night, Mexico City the next, of course here in the States, has caused a lot of people, I think, to wonder how long that title reign can last. And in the cruiserweight ranks, I think that old adage is never more true on any given night. You just never know what's going to happen, and Super Callow looking to pull off the upset here.
And so far looking pretty darn good. Super Callow making a big impression in World Championship Wrestling here, and continues now. You know, he did a little showboating on the outside, not much though. He's back to the attack once again, follows him in. Boy, he is prepared for this match. Mysterio still in trouble.
Mysterio hasn't done nothing for 4 or 5 minutes. He's been taking a heck of a beating from Callow.
Short arm scissors applied, and
well, he puts it all together. Callow's going to walk out of here the cruiserweight champion.
And you don't see this a lot, this short arm scissor. I remember Pat O'Connor had it on me for about 30 minutes one night, nearly ragtagged my arm, and this is a great example, I think, Iron Mike, of their total capture, if you will, of the catch-as-catch-can to go along with the Lucha Libre thing that you were talking about. Mike?
Super Callow reached through there and keyed that lock. You're right, that was the whole key, the whole element as far as that matchup goes. You know, the other thing, I look at this double ring setup, caught him with that drop kick. This double ring setup that we see for the War Games almost lends another element to this matchup. The way these two can fly, I think sometimes one ring might limit them.
that time he caught the jaw going through, tried a clothesline. Actually, I believe, cupped the hand and just yanked back on the chin and the jaw of Rey Mysterio Jr. Snapmares him over with authority. You know, he is content here, Mike, with working on the upper part of the body, and one would think, obviously, if you keep him on the mat, you ground him, but one would think he would work on the legs of Mysterio.
That would seem to be the obvious offensive strategy, but we mentioned about how these gentlemen know each other so well. Maybe there's something that Super Callow knows that we don't know, and that's why he's going to work on the upper body of Rey Mysterio Jr.
Well, I guarantee you one thing. I know when I looked at tapes, I know that Super Callow, getting ready for this thing, had to go into some deep training and really get himself ready. And as you said, he knows Rey Mysterio as well as anybody. I'll say it one more time again. Rey Mysterio did not get off the mark tonight. He did not get off like he usually does, and he's in jeopardy of losing this thing right here at War Games.
Right up in the eyes of Randy Anderson, makes it easy for the referee to check in here. 1, 2, no.
Dropped him down out of that upside down, that inverted type surfboard attempt. And you're right, a succession of near falls here for Super Callow as he is just dominated from the opening bell.
Mike, in Mexico, a lot of men wear masks there. Do they ever unmask men? Do they ever go for the mask? You never see anybody trying to get a guy's mask off. I turned the guy's mask sideways so he couldn't see. That's what I do.
In Mexico, what they have are mask versus mask matches more than actually trying to take the mask off the wrestler like we've seen for years in the States.
But if you win, you get the guy has to unmask.
He has to unmask and identify himself to the crowd.
You know, I've noticed something, that Super Callow has knee pads on that look like they are covered in plastic, almost like a skateboarder would have. Notice that? Those could be used as weapons, and Mysterio fires back.
You noticed that. You picked that up. In the middle of me and Iron Mike's commentary, you picked that right up.
Yeah, sometimes, Dusty, when you talk, I just kind of lull. You see what I'm saying?
Lull!
And I look at things.
Well, lull on this.
Oh, my goodness. He could have broke both his legs there, hitting that apron so hard.
Randy Anderson trying to pull him. We throw him back in. Rey Mysterio's going to pull him on the outside.
Talk about the determination of Rey Mysterio Jr. He's been taking a heck of a beating here for about, would you say, 7-8 minutes? And look at him now.
There he goes.
Tremendous tremendous somersault, senton splash to the floor, and I think we've seen a change in tide, a swing in momentum, and I think Rey Mysterio also appreciates that, and he knows it's time to turn up the offense.
How does he keep his hat on?
But Iron Mike, has Rey Mysterio has he spent too much energy fighting this guy off to be able to use all his weapons that you never see him like just there like a big kick like that. It looks like he's trying to take a shortcut and maybe till he gets his wind back.
And look at his back. Look at the welts on his back and those. It's all skinned up or scarred from banging into something. Look at that. What a beating this man has taken.
Mysterio outside seemingly has the second win from the top. He's drop kicked down.
Anti-aircraft.
That was great timing. 1, 2, and tremendous anticipation by Super Callow that time.
Wow, talk about a change in momentum. Just when it appeared that Rey Jr. had taken control, taken charge of this matchup, he stopped him dead in his tracks with that drop kick.
2 count, and again. One thing we have seen so far, I think one of the prevalent themes throughout Fall Brawl has been never give up. I mean, from the opening bout with Chavo Jr., with Chris Jericho, with Rey Mysterio, even with Juventud Guerrera, young men who seemingly are getting the stuffing beat out of them, but continue to come back.
Well, we talked about that resilience of these competitors earlier. Almost amazing when you see the punishment that they take. I think in Rey Jr.'s case, it's almost a combination of youth, which he has on his side at just 21 years old. You talk about turning a real negative into a positive, using his compact size almost sometimes to cushion the force of some of these blows put on by his opponents.
Yeah, but he has taken so much punishment. By the time he's 30, he won't be able to get out of bed. That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
I mean,
entirely possible.
Yeah, I know, because I'm 36, and it's hard for me to get out of bed in the morning. Got a little pun there.
That's a big pun, what that was. Yankee down on the arm.
I'm really impressed with Callow, I'll tell you. He's really made an impression here.
Oh! He is focused on the arm, the back, the upper body of Rey Mysterio Jr. Here's the...
Dusty, what leap year were you born?
All right, Mike, help me out here. Let's go with this match, brother.
Mike, you stay with the match. Oh! We have seen moves, as expected, that we've never seen before. He's still focusing on the arm. Look at this. But Rey Mysterio has some fight left in him.
Look at him snap his head back with those forearms.
Frankenstein to the ball.
Everyone here's mouth is wide open. They couldn't believe that move.
We've got to see that again. My goodness.
From a distance.
That was incredible.
But this man's even alive.
You want me to trap? Get in there.
Well, there is one constant after every Rey Mysterio Jr. match. You go back and there's a locker room full of perplexed wrestlers questioning just how the heck did he do that.
Yeah. Announcers too. Up on top. Here he goes again. He tried that earlier. This time a little bit more distance. And that time he hit him onto the concrete instead of the mats.
Caught him flush then.
Yep. Once again, Randy Anderson being very lenient, and I think that's good. I think we want to see a winner here. We don't want to see a double count out. And give Randy Anderson a lot of credit. He's letting him go, letting him wrestle, get a winner. Up on top, jumps through. Sunset flip, 1, 2. And he kicked out in 2.
I think you're sending a message back to the NWO guys that it's not going to be that easy out here tonight. A lot of things are going to happen. They're going to shut their eyes to a lot of things and turn their back. Watch.
Over the top. Using the top rope. 1, 2, got a 2 count. But let me say this about War Games. The only thing a referee does in War Games is declare a winner. The referee basically stays out of the cage, which probably, based on all Nick Patrick's been doing, the best thing can happen to WCW. A 2 count.
I wouldn't want to be in that cage as an official.
A 2 count again.
Would you?
Not a chance.
Oh, yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Into the ropes, up. Oh yeah, Frankenstein above 1, 2.
Great counters by both wrestlers.
Gosh, we're getting tired just calling this thing. They hit the apron. Callow, that was flush in the gut that time. Now the big guy with a head of steam. Oh! One side step.
went the wrong way.
No, he didn't. He's going to go over 2.
Tremendous double spring.
1, 2, 3.
Phenomenal. Unbelievable, fan. Unreal.
And still,
Unreal.
Cruiserweight
Especially at
champion,
that point in the matchup when you're right, it looked like his tank was on empty. And he did a double springboard into that Frankensteiner for the victory.
He had to really go for this one tonight, though, Iron Mike, I guarantee you. He didn't get started out in the right way, but he came back.
Might be in Japan.
Man.
Might be in Mexico.
And I think we all underestimated Super Callow.
Yes, tremendous athlete.
is for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, set for one fall. Introducing first the challenger from the Federal District of Mexico, Juventud Guerrera.
We open up with Juventud Guerrera, the young man from Mexico who last night on WCW's Fall Brawl took Conan right to the task, almost became the Mexican heavyweight champion. Let's go back to David Pinzer.
His opponent from Tijuana, Mexico, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Tremendous ovation for Rey Mysterio Jr., the Cruiserweight champion. Last night against Super Callow, held on to the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. And I tell you, when you go back and think about the tremendous action that we had last night, Larry, at Fall Brawl, and then at the end, the way it all went down for WCW, it was one of the most exciting, but then again, one of the most disheartening, disappointing nights I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, it was one of the most exciting pay-per-views ever, a historical moment. But at the end, again, look what happened. Luger, Flair, Anderson left 3 against 4.
Mark Curtis is the referee showing the WCW Cruiserweight title. And once again, I want to apologize personally to Sting. And I'm doing it on my behalf and certainly on the entire broadcast, WCW broadcast team. We all said, yes, we pointed our finger at him. He was a part of the NWO. They fooled us. It was not Sting. We should have known. We should have done our homework that Sting was in Japan. You know, earlier this year, I made some comments about Ric Flair, pointing my finger at him, saying that he was a member of the New World Order.
Yeah, you've been pointing your finger at everybody.
Well, you know, we're in paranoid type times now, Larry.
It's paranoid, but let's face the sad fact. The NWO has always been one step ahead of us. It's time for us to get a leader and then take that 2 steps forward.
We are not sure about the demands. Apparently, demands are going to be met that the NWO have made. We understand meetings have been going on all day in the WCW offices about their demands.
Oh.
They asked for not only their segment, they extended to an entire television program.
What?
Yes, they did. And we are only going to tell you that in the weeks to come, or maybe in the days to come, we will find out exactly how their demands will be met here in World Championship Wrestling. But ladies and gentlemen, we have later on Diamond Dallas against Ice Train, Conan, Super Callow, Hugh Morris is here in action. The Macho Man Randy Savage will go up against Scott Norton. And ladies and gentlemen, making his debut on Nitro a little bit later on, here in hour number 2, Glacier will be here. And he'll be going up against a man who's said some very unkind things about him over the past couple of weeks. We're talking about Big Bubba. That is still to come in this telecast.
You know, I seen a very impressive debut of Glacier last week on Sunday, but now against Big Bubba, we'll see what the Glacier's made of.
Yes, we will. Glacier will be here a little bit later on. All right, here's the whip. Rey Mysterio Jr. been working on the leg. Juventud Guerrera, and Juventud with a back elbow put Rey Mysterio down hard in the mat.
Yeah, he caught him right smack in the mouth. This kid went down.
We have seen some intense action from these superstars from Mexico, and we're going to see some more later on in this telecast. Look at the quickness, if you will, of Rey Mysterio Jr. A stumping spin wheel kick, and that was right on target.
Yeah, the moves have been phenomenal. These athletes are incredible. The only thing about taking so many high risks so fast, so often, you leave a lot of openings.
As a matter of fact, you may notice, and there Guerrero puts a foot right to the solar plexus. The abdomen of Rey Mysterio Jr. heavily taped, as you can see, right above the waistline there. And I'm not so sure if that was an injury last night. Last night, the amazing thing about his match against Super Callow is that there were no broken bones. I mean, they did things with 2 rings that's absolutely unbelievable last night. He waits on Guerrero.
Whoa.
Juventud held his balance nicely. Up on top. He kicked him in the midsection as he was coming off.
Caught him in midair.
We have to step out for a break, much the same way Juventud is right now. and fans will have more. Whoa! Nitro live on TNT. Watch out!
Oh my goodness! After this!
We are back live on Nitro. We may be moments away from crowning a new Cruiserweight champion right here. 1, 2, got a 2 count. During the course of that commercial break, it's been all Juventud Guerrera.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio Jr., he's in trouble. Got the wind knocked out of him again. Too many high risks. You notice he's got some of his lower ribs already taped up, and boy, that's a painful area. And he got nailed again.
That was a tremendous drop kick, flush on the chest of Rey Mysterio Jr., the Cruiserweight champion. But one of his trademarks always has been, in the jaws of defeat, the youngster has been able to pull it out. Each and every time he astounds us.
Whoa!
He's trying to buy a little time now, but there's Juventud. A jumping springboard spin wheel kick.
He knocked him all the way across the ring. Here he goes!
Baseball slide kick. And outside near the entryway goes Rey Mysterio Jr. Watch out, fans. You never know what you're going to see with these men. Middle, springboard, back somersault, almost like a moonsault, and down hard goes Rey Mysterio. I do believe that time the back of his head cracked on that concrete right at the base of those mats right there, Larry.
Well, they're both paying a high price tag here. Right here, Guerrera, he almost knocked himself out cold. Rey Mysterio Jr.'s in bad shape. I don't think those high risks are necessary. If you're going to use them, play that human game of chess in midair. Once you get the man down, bring it down to sea level.
That's what they're known for, those high-risk maneuvers. That's their forte. That's all they love.
Yeah, but how much can you take?
Yeah, I mean, even when you're on the giving end of those high-risk maneuvers, how much can you take? Look at this.
Oh!
That time he hit the mat before he hit the man, but still came down. 1, 2.
See, he didn't get enough weight on top of Rey Mysterio Jr. He was off by maybe a foot, but that foot, he could have knocked himself cold. And Mysterio, he's in trouble now.
Sends Rey Mysterio back to a neutral corner. Oh, Juventud. Big chop right to the chest. And trying to move away from it. Juventud right now, ever since the break, and I know we left you in the break, and it was Rey Mysterio with the seemingly advantage, but it's been Guerrera. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do understand. Look at this move.
Oh, he dumped him!
I understand from the people in our production truck there's a celebration going on the outside. Our cameras are out there. There you see fans of the NWO having somewhat, I guess you can only describe this as what, a tailgate party in celebration of their win last night. Fans still coming in here to the arena, kind of coming in late, and the NWO contingent with their leaflets, with their propaganda, celebrating what they accomplished last night.
I find this sickening. It's amazing how many robotized sheep are in existence, and Rey Mysterio dumped them off. He got him!
Incredible! You talk about high-risk maneuvers that are dangerous. That was one of the most spectacular moves we've ever seen. Out of a 1, 2, 3, Rey Mysterio hurt himself as well, but gets the win in the opening bout here on Nitro. A disgruntled, dejected Juventud Guerrera on the short end of that one. There'll be another day for him. But once again, like we said earlier,
Live at Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc, it is for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, set for one fall. Introducing first the challenger. He's from Tampa, Florida, the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko.
what a way to open up a broadcast. A tremendous telecast as we open up with a title match. And a man who is a former Cruiserweight champion, a man who certainly wants the title back, and you can see it on his face, the former Cruiserweight champion, Dean Malenko here, guys.
Now, let me tell you something else. You know, when you talk about fights, as we talked about, one thing is for certain, Dean Malenko's got something very precious that he took from Rey Mysterio Jr. As you drew your coat recently over one Rey Mysterio Jr. as he had his mask lifted from him. But Mysterio Jr. got something that Dean Malenko wants.
His opponent from Tijuana, Mexico, the WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Here he is, the Cruiserweight Champion, and he gets bring quite an ovation.
Well, I was in the hotel yesterday when Dean Malenko checked in. The man at the door, the bellman said, I'll get those bags. He said, I got them. He said, I don't mind getting them. He said, I got them. He went and checked in. The guy said at the desk, how's the weather today? He said, it's none of your business. Give me my room. This man, Malenko, is all business. He's not here to play the slot machine, see the shows. He's here to take that title, that Cruiserweight title that he believes he owns, off Rey Mysterio Jr. This is a no-nonsense kind of guy, Dean Malenko.
And we are welcoming to our broadcast location a man you're going to be seeing and hearing from a lot tonight, Mike Tenay, one of the co-hosts of WCW Monday Nitro. Mike, this is probably the most anticipated WCW Cruiserweight title ever.
Well, gentlemen, what a way to kick off Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc, and Malenko not waiting for the bell. The first thing that I flash back on when I think about this rivalry, Tony, is the situation that you were put in on a recent edition of Saturday Night when Dean Malenko stole away the mask of Rey Mysterio Jr.
And you can see early on here, Malenko means to get the 1, 2, 3, any means possible. There's a waistlock pickup now. And Mike, I want to ask you one thing. We've talked he's going for the Texas Cloverleaf right now.
Real quick.
Oh, and look at the leg strength of Mysterio. He knew it was coming. A little defensive wrestling that time, and it got the job done. Rey Mysterio, tell us about how much the mask means to him and what it means to the Mexican fans.
Basically means everything to his career, Tony. Without the mask, let's face it, he is done. The legacy of the masked wrestler in Mexico goes back many, many years to dates to El Santo, later years Mil Mascaras, and it's really the most important thing for that masked wrestler in Mexico to maintain the fact that his identity would never be known throughout the professional wrestling ranks, and that attempt by Dean Malenko to unmask him on a recent edition of Monday Night pretty much is also an attempt to take away his pride.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something, Iron Mike, the bottom line on this situation here, Dean Malenko came out really aggressive. He came out to ground this young man and see what he wants to do. I believe it's put him away real early.
Well, it's surprising that Malenko would go for a move like the Cloverleaf that would work on the legs of Mysterio. We've seen that the legs are really his most important offensive part because of all the good springboard moves. And look at that drop toe hold.
Up on top, almost like a crucifix. How about that for a variation of an arm drag takedown?
Well, Malenko's doing this smart now. He's taking himself a little walk. Look out!
Well, that was a fake by Mysterio. Trying to keep Malenko grounded. Malenko very smart here, trying to slow down this offensive momentum that Rey Mysterio is just on fire.
Yeah, he is. And as we said, he started out so strong. We're talking about Dean Malenko. And there you see him
that
kissing
mask.
the mask. That's got to add insult to injury.
Sure does. What a drop kick as Mysterio springboarded up.
Here comes Rey Mysterio! Right into your living room.
He's got his mask.
He's got his mask back.
Tremendous somersault senton splash. Malenko's laid out. And wait a minute, he's taking his mask off.
Yes, he is. He's recaptured the mask, guys, and he's going to put it on his noggin here in Las Vegas.
Let's get a shot of that ugly kisser on this guy. Come on, get that zoom in there. Get the zoom in on him.
No, he is. How about that for putting on
There you go.
a mask while taking off another one? Rey Mysterio Jr. recaptures the mask in the midst of this match, and that's got to give him some added motivation here, gentlemen.
Well, he feels comfortable with that mask. That's the mask he wore, I guess, when he won the championship, and that's the mask he wants to wear when he defends it. But I'll tell you, Malenko's got another idea for this, man. You can believe me on that one.
Now, Malenko said, I've got something you want, you have something I want. Well, Mysterio's got what he wants. Let's see what happens to Malenko tonight. Over the top, he is just too quick. He's got him run up 1, 2, and...
No.
Mark Curtis, referee, his arm was on the way down for the 3 count.
All right, Mike, that's twice he tried that maneuver. Missed it the first time, and he hooked him up right there. I thought he might have a pin on him.
What a great history between these two wrestlers. Oh, side suplex there by Malenko, and that'll ground Mysterio. The history between these two, this actually is the 5th head-to-head meeting in terms of national television and pay-per-view matches, and this would be the rubber match. 2 apiece. Dean Malenko won the first 2 showdowns. Rey Mysterio Jr. winning the last 2, and of course that Clash of Champions in Denver, that controversial finish where it looked like Malenko was going to be victorious, but the referee ruled that Rey Mysterio Jr. had his feet in the ropes, and that allowed Rey the opportunity to get the victory.
Malenko now just throws into the top. It looked like maybe the knees that time hit the top rope.
That's some bad mojo right there, I guarantee you.
And that is bad news for Mysterio, Brain, because usually it's the midsection. That time the knees hit the ropes.
Well, that's just not rope. There's steel cable running through those ropes. And if he hit his knee on or his shin, he could be out. Now he's got to take advantage of him. And take him to school now, Mr. Malenko. Show him those 1,000 holds you know. Show him 2,000 holds. Show him how you can become champion once again.
Hooking onto the leg. It's kind of a half crab right there. Later on this telecast, Mike Tenay will be talking to the winner of this match, be it Rey Mysterio or Dean Malenko. And you know, Brain, you brought up a good point about how serious Dean Malenko has been in his quest to get the Cruiserweight title back. He is not one that is cheered that much by fans, and that's not because he breaks the rules, because really he doesn't. He's just a no-nonsense guy. He is known as the Iceman. It's because of his personality. He's all business, and fans really don't attach themselves or identify with someone like that.
You know why? Because the people nowadays that have a job are too lazy to do their work. They want to push it off on somebody else.
How would you get loose from this?
They're always looking for somebody to blame because they're inadequate. This man does his job in the ring. If he wins, he wins. If he loses, he loses. He asks no one for nothing. That's the kind of a man Dean Malenko is.
Well, Mike, he's got him grounded right here going through that filibuster that Bobby the Brain Heenan just laid out on us about life and working and everything. Bottom line, he's got young Rey Mysterio Jr. right now, I think, right where he wants to.
Well, Malenko is the master of mat technique, and you're right, Dusty. Not only the pressure there applied to the wrist, but also to the knee and the leg of Rey Mysterio Jr. You're right, he's trying to ground Mysterio now so that as the match progresses, he will not be as fresh and as crisp on those high-risk moves that he's so famous for.
He's going to throw him to Utah.
Speaking of high risk, and this. And that time both hit hard. You can see Malenko slow to make a cover.
He's got him.
1, 2, and did not get him that time. But I tell you, both hit very hard. Malenko slow to make that cover, and that may have cost him as well.
But look at Malenko right now. He's getting frustrated. He can't do that. He's got to be in control of his emotions. Don't let this guy frustrate you.
Well,
Take your time with him.
That great top rope backdrop suplex by Malenko, that I think shows us that, gentlemen, not only is he the master of the mat, but when it comes to high-risk moves as well, very underrated. And I'm not saying that he can match Mysterio in those high-risk aerial moves, but he is definitely underrated when it comes to that category.
Yeah, one thing for sure, he came in with a definite game plan, and we've seen this thing unfold in front of us right here in Las Vegas. And Iron Mike, one other thing about this, I believe now, the longer he maintains this pressure and keeps Junior down, the better chance he's going to stand of winning this title back.
Well, I think Rey Mysterio Jr. also great cardiovascular conditioning. Dusty, I think you have to give this experience edge to Dean Malenko, but Rey Mysterio at just age 21, already 7 years under his belt in professional wrestling. Malenko, of course, about 15 years a pro.
Yeah, but look at the savvy of Rey Mysterio. He knew where the ropes were. He knew he had to roll over and make one turn to get the ropes. Now tell me, is that the move of a coward or the move of a champion? You tell me. A lot of people go for the ropes, people call him yellow. This man goes for the ropes, he's a hero.
Up on top, and watch out. Could be a brainbuster coming here. He drops him down for a vertical suplex. Look at Dean Malenko, who's going to make a cover here. 1, 2, and Mysterio gets out of it. We have a capacity crowd on hand as we come to you from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This, of course, the site of Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc. In the month of November, Tyson will be fighting Holyfield here. Kiss will be in concert. Last night, The Who here. This is The Who. This is the jewel of the Strip in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. Roll up, 1, 2, hit! Almost! Did he get him? Almost did not get him. And how about that, a drop kick while the man's down?
I think Malenko's getting mad now.
One other thing I think to keep in mind is the grind, the toll of an international travel schedule for Rey Mysterio Jr. As he has become more popular after winning the World's Heavyweight title, just within the past 10 days to 2 weeks, he's headlined shows in Japan, Mexico, and the United States as well, and that has to affect you long term.
And he's done that all by bus.
Oh, boy, I'm going to tell you, that was nice, wasn't it? That was good.
That was classic Brain.
Yeah, and for the people out there, I'm going to interpretate this thing what Brain said.
He's going to interpret it.
Yeah, and the bottom line, what Iron Mike was saying is this guy could be tired. And when you're tired mentally, but I really believe talking to him earlier, me and you both spoke to him before we come on the air here at Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc here in Las Vegas, right here in the desert where fights going on. He seemed confident knowing what he has to do. He gets up. This young man gets up for the task at hand, Iron Mike.
Well, he certainly does, and it's so important as well in Mexico, the fact that he won that World's Cruiserweight Championship here in WCW, now almost into his fourth month as the World's Champion.
He's so tired he can't grow hair.
Of course, this event comes to you from Las Vegas, and Mike, a native of Las Vegas, living here, and I know the whole city very excited about WCW being in town. And right now, Dean Malenko's got to be excited about his possibilities of winning this match. There's a 2 count. The young man does know how to kick out, doesn't he?
But notice something about Malenko, he doesn't waste any time. He goes for that pin, whether he thinks he can get it or not, because the other man could be sleeping. He could get that 1, 2, 3. He knows his way around that ring.
Well, I brought up the point that it wasn't a minute into the match. He went with the Texas Cloverleaf, then tried a lateral press to get the 1, 2, 3.
He wasn't listening. He was not listening when you brought that point up.
Oh!
Using the edge of the ring apron here against the back of Rey Mysterio Jr. One of 3 title matches tonight, and the only one contested by members of WCW only. Later on, the outsiders of the NWO grabbed the World Tag Team title, and the Macho Man Randy Savage looks to recapture the glory for World Championship Wrestling against Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Back into the ring now. Here's a snap here takeover. He is grounded, this young man that we've talked about, and it seems it's all going the way right now of Dean Malenko. Well prepared, as you can see. And a sleeper hold.
Good night. Good night.
Now he falls on his back, and you know, Mike, I'm not sure that could have been Mysterio just throwing the guy on his back as well.
Either that or it's an opportunity where Malenko thinks that he might have some more leverage down on the mat and also applying the scissors around the body at the same time as the sleeper.
That's not it. Malenko does not want him to get to the ropes. He wants to keep him on that mat. He's got him body scissored. He's got him in a sleeper. He doesn't want him up moving around.
He's cutting off the air, as you said, Iron Mike, not only to around his midsection, cutting off the air down there, got him in a sleeper situation, and the brain did actually say something very potent when he said he don't want him to get to the rope.
Yeah, he's right. He's got him right in the middle of the ring, exactly where he wants him.
And if the young man Mysterio can escape from this, then he truly is a master of our sport.
Sometimes you reach that point where you just got to go for it.
And that's what he's doing. He gets thrown down again by the mask that time by Malenko, but give Mysterio some credit. He fought back from a sleeper combination body scissors and basically broke the hold here. Once again, back to this time a standing sleeper.
He's got a game plan. You're right about that.
No question. Mr. Offense here.
He's going out.
Mark Curtis checking once again.
You know, the more you fight this hold, the quicker you go out. A lot of people don't know that. The more you fight this hold, the quicker you're going to be put to sleep. Siesta time, amigo.
We will see. There you take a good look at Dean Malenko, which we talked a lot. You did, Dream, at the beginning of those telecasts about the tradition of WCW and the upstart NWO. You talking about men who know a lot about tradition. Mike, you talked about the tradition in Mexico, Rey Mysterio Jr. in the mask, and the tradition that has been the background, the heritage of Dean Malenko and his father, the great Malenko.
He's trying to get himself together right here. The cruiserweight title became so prominent right here at WCW, Iron Mike. And I know this young man right here. I mean, he lives, sleeps, and eats this title. And for him to make a gallant effort right now is really looking really on the downside.
Well, I agree. Dean Malenko's strategy from the opening bell has worked to a T, and Rey Mysterio Jr. has yet to get untracked, but if he can just get that one series of offensive moves going,
You're not going to see a move any quicker or faster than that.
But it did not get to 3 count.
That's unbelievable.
And you're right. That is the one underlying factor throughout this match, is not only the fact of the offense exhibited by Malenko, but the never say die, I guess I don't know if you call it attitude or ability, of Rey Mysterio Jr., a man who just will not stay down. And look at this. Rolls him up again. Does not have that. There's good job by Mark Curtis. Did not have the shoulder down. He only got a 1 count out of it. Has anyone seen Nick Patrick tonight yet?
I don't know.
Speaking of great referees or referees, Mark Curtis into that one.
Me and Iron Mike were in the back interviewing guys and trying to get their feel for the matches. I know Brain was looking for Nick Patrick earlier.
What was that all about?
Well, I wasn't. I was just. I wanted to see.
Thank you. Thank you for nothing. In a right hand to the side of the head.
Well, you didn't let me give a chance to answer.
Sure.
I wanted to see the condition of the man's esophagus.
There you go.
Watch out. He's up top.
They're both up top.
Yeah, but this is where Mysterio rules. But look at the fight going on. Oh, they both hit the apron, and they both go all the way down to the floor.
You can have a double count out here. Don't forget, Malenko has to beat Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio does not have to beat Dean Malenko.
Yeah, but I tell you, that up top, give Malenko a lot of credit here, because we saw the man go up top where he reigns, and Malenko just fought him all the way to the floor. He's using the top safety rail. He's on his back, and he's fighting him. Pound him on the head. I think that was a low blow.
Attempted to springboard off that top steel guardrail. And actually, it looked almost like he slipped off when he tried to make an attempt at a Frankensteiner or Huracan Rana off the steel.
Up on top. 1, 2, got a 2 count. Something else occurred outside there, guys, and I think that they didn't realize it, but of course, this being Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc, Slim Jim's has the ring pads or the corner pads, and you can really not throw someone off the ring post and get the effect as usual.
Right here off the top.
Oh! What a move!
Springboard into the somersault, but Mysterio surprisingly does not go for the pin. Even though Malenko's days, there's the roll through.
2, and no. Again, a man escapes in this opening cruiserweight bout. What a way to open up Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc.
Well, it's obvious to me the winner of this match is going to be the man who's the luckiest, because Malenko's not going to give up. And by the way it looks right now, Mysterio's not going to give up.
Or it could be an injury. He just shrugs him off that time.
He's right back to his feet, though. Go behind switch.
What action.
Pair of standing switch, trying to duck through. Hops over,
Rick.
1, 2.
Yes!
He got out of it.
No.
Dean Malenko escaped again.
There was 806 moves right there in that segment.
Amazing. How about a clothesline?
How about it?
Old-fashioned clothesline.
Yeah, how about it being over right here, too? That took his head off Iron Mike. That really, I think he made his final moves right here. Let's see if he puts him away.
We talk about this resiliency of this young champion, and he's really going to have to prove himself here after that backdrop suplex.
1, 2, no, sir. Didn't get him.
Very loose cover for Dean Malenko, I thought, right there, when he had him in a situation to go ahead and put him away. That's so important. When you got a guy ready, got him knocked out, down and out, you got to put him away.
I think both men are dazed here. They can't give it their all because they've had a lot taken out of both of them. That time, that was great defensive wrestling by Mysterio, using the momentum of Malenko. Springboard. That time, I'm not so sure who got the front of that, Mike.
Twisting corkscrew move by Mysterio as he sprung off that middle rope and catches Malenko. And you're right, both men crashed to the concrete.
Well, you can name it all you want. Corkscrew moves, this and that move. As far as I'm concerned, these are all career-ending moves. Half an inch off here, half an inch here. You got a broken back, you got a broken neck, it's over.
Both men are back up, though. They're back in the ring right here, and I will say they both boys for wear right there.
Let's see what happens now in this electrifying cruiserweight opening bout here at Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc. How about?
Okay.
1, 2.
No!
Did not get it.
No!
I've never seen anyone get out of that move, Mike.
Incredible move by Malenko to come back, and now Mysterio motions to the crowd that he's ready for another high-risk springboard.
Hey, powerbomb it!
He got it.
1, 2. No! It was that close. You saw Mark Curtis showing us how close it was. He powerbombed him off of the springboard, but still did not get him.
Excellent job of refereeing, too.
You're not
You
kidding.
brought it up on several occasions. Referees are so important to the situation here tonight as we look at this big, huge battle. That fight that's looming on the end here.
Mysterio on the outside shoulder block. This is going to enable him to get up top, but he's wobbly. He couldn't climb up top with speed. That enabled Malenko to get up there with him. What is going to happen here? How about those knees to the jaw?
We've seen this before. Oh, great try by Mysterio, but blocked by Malenko. He goes back to the well again.
Malenko doing the right thing.
Oh, what a powerbomb.
1, 2.
Yes! Yes!
There it is, boys.
A well-deserved victory for Dean Malenko.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, hats off. What an event.
Dean Malenko.
You're not going to find a better opening bout on a pay-per-view telecast anywhere than what we've just witnessed here at Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc. Dean Malenko, perseverance, determination, like him or not, he is the Cruiserweight Champion, defeating Rey Mysterio Jr., who is every bit as much up to the task.
What a hard-fought battle to open up.
It is a one-fall contest for the 8th-round Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Tijuana, Mexico, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Well, and as anticipated, a rousing ovation for Rey Mysterio Jr., the former WCW Cruiserweight Champion, who has a chance that is, to garner 8 titles in one bout tonight in a match that was added right near the end as Rey Mysterio Jr. to face Ultimo Dragon.
Well, I tell you what, we're right down here on the front row. I guarantee you.
Boy, are we ever. It's not a very safe place to be.
Not very safe at all.
It's a good seat, though. It's a good seat when there's a fight getting ready to break out.
This is one of the greatest wrestling cities in the entire world, and you can see at the scope here, not a seat to be found. Back we go to David Penzer one more time.
His opponent is accompanied to the ring by Sonny Ono from Tokyo, Japan, by way of Mexico City, the 8th-crown Cruiserweight Champion, the Ultimate Dragon.
Those 8 belts as Sonny Ono brings in some and Ultimo Dragon has some, represents 8 junior heavyweight titles from 3 countries, Mexico, Great Britain, and Japan. He participated in the J Crown tournament back in August, went all the way to the finals of the tournament, did not win it, but then recently won the J Crown title and thus wins all 8 belts. And he's putting all 8 belts up tonight, Brain.
Well, I bet if you check him out real careful under that robe, you'll probably find a couple hubcaps from a Toyota on him.
I'll tell you one thing you will not find there, and that's a Cruiserweight Championship. And bottom line, you know that's got to be eating at him. I guarantee you what, guys, we are really geared up here at World War III. Bottom line, I guarantee you Roddy Piper's ready for a fight, and it might be tonight.
There you see the 3 rings, and of course 60 men, 20 per ring will encompass those 3 rings later on tonight. But right now, that is ring number 1 that they will begin in, and there is Rey Mysterio Jr. Sonny Ono brings in the Ultimate Dragon, and Mark Curtis will be the referee in the opening bout here. So much electricity, so much tension in the air, and never before in a WCW pay-per-view event. And I know it's based on what has gone over in the past couple of weeks since this past Monday in Nitro when Eric Bischoff made his turn or did what he did. But I've never seen, Dream, so much tension in one arena before the matches than we had here earlier today.
Well, it was tension in the arena, it's tension back in the dressing room, it's tension in the area where the NWO have their own special place. And we know why they got their special place now, because all the way at the top, something was rotten. And we found on a past Nitro, but bottom line, tonight the ship could be put back, sailing down the right path, I guarantee you. Bob?
What? I agree.
Bobby's busy over here.
I'm watching this match is what I'm doing.
Side headlock takeover and into a head scissor. This will be the 3rd meeting that we've had over the past couple of months between these 2 men. They met on WCW Saturday night right before, as we were coming to you live right before Hog Wild and Sturgis. Then met on a WCW Monday Nitro event. But a lot more on the line here now when you talk about 8 championships. And the only championship, of course, that is not among those 8 in the J Crown title is, as you said, Dream, the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, he's got him butterflied up right there. Ultimate Dragon is a bigger man, but I guarantee you he knows all the high-risk maneuvers that Rey Mysterio Jr. knows. A nice takedown right there. That could break a leg. That could break a leg.
No doubt about that.
About what? That breaking a leg.
He can break a leg with that.
That's a good call, Bob. We're off to a roaring start.
We're off to a roaring start. Dragon's smart here. He's keeping him grounded. He's keeping him right on that mat.
Pick up at a scoop slam, and Ultimate Dragon with a short elbow drop. 1, 2. We got a 2 count that time. from Ultimo Dragon. It's obvious to me that the Dragon wants to keep Rey Mysterio Jr. on the mat, and that's not bad strategy, but if you're Rey Mysterio Jr., you want to do basically the same thing to the Ultimate Dragon. They're so similar in their styles.
The Dragon is bigger and seems to be stronger, so he's using more of the Dean Malenko approach, I think, to Rey Mysterio Jr. Obviously, there has been some tape watching going on, because if Mysterio gets a loose on your Junior, gets a loose on your Brain, you know yourself, he can hit some moves, brother, from the ceiling of this building.
He can drop kick you sitting in a chair. He can drop kick you flat on the mat. He can do so many things. That's why you can't let him on his feet.
Springs up to his feet that time, does Ultimo Dragon, and to a full-arm Dragon twist. And Rey Mysterio Jr. does the same thing, our first chop of the match. Here we go, the ride to the ropes. One chop. He tried a headbutt but missed apparently that time. Springboard, nobody home. Here comes Dragon up, he lands on his feet. And they both tried just basically the same thing. And they both spring back up.
Both of them spring back up and nipped up, and both of them went for high-risk maneuvers, and they were flip-flopping in the flying, and nobody connected, not even the chop did any damage. And I tell you what, it's a real figuring out process right here. They trying to, well, kick him there, keep him in the belly welly, kick him in the belly welly.
Just kick him. Doesn't matter where you kick him, just kick him.
I believe Brain went on record as saying Rey Mysterio Jr. might be one of the 60 men, one of the ones left in this big thing. Is that right, Brain? Am I reading this right?
No, my pick to win the whole thing was Dean Malenko. That's who I picked to win this, but who knows anymore? You don't know what the NWO's got in mind. You don't know what anybody's got in mind. It's dangerous out here.
And that's a good point. You know, we made the point that members of the NWO will be involved in this 60-man over-the-top rope battle royal. What happens if one of them wins? What happens to the Hulk Hogan match? Using the middle rope as a springboard to drop kick him on the floor, and he went hard at the feet of Sonny Ono there.
Yeah, and you got to watch him. I knew that wasn't coming. That's a sneaky man.
He's a very intelligent businessman.
Well, you should know, because you took money from him.
I didn't take money. They just had a yen for me.
They had a what?
A yen for me.
Yes.
You sold him down the river is what you did.
Didn't sell anybody down the river.
It was about a year ago at this time. You sold Sonny Ono something you didn't even own. I don't even want to talk about that, as a matter of fact.
Well, good, then we'll drop it.
Tried to bring him in with a big suplex here, but it went behind him. Trying to roll him up. Reverso.
Suplex. Dragon suplex 1, 2, make it a German suplex, 2 count that time. Waist lock over the top. And Sonny Ono complaining that should have been a 3 count. But the Dragon back to the attack once again. So much at stake here. The opening bout. Rey Mysterio is airborne.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey, while you're up there, can you change the lights?
He may be able to. He got up so high. And Mark Curtis checks in, but as always, Rey Mysterio Jr. is right in on this one. He will not give up at all. One of his attributes not only has been his tremendous high-flying ability, but Rey Mysterio Jr. with a tremendous heart as well.
And also his ability to crawl underneath the bottom rope and go for help. Look at this, look at this!
Spinning back breaker got him up there. Wolf Mike Tenay when you need him.
He's hurt.
Who, Mike?
Mysterio is hurt.
Almost a version of a torture rack that time.
Yeah, but he got him so quick, Tony, and he spin him around, you know. Speaking of torture racks, Lex Luger. I mean, his mind's got to be right for this thing. Get it off of Sting, because Sting's still up in the rapture as far as I know. I'll tell you, man.
And as far as we know, there is no Sting here. Not one of the 60 men involved tonight. But that doesn't mean he won't be around. He has made mysterious appearances. Into a half crab that time. Sits deep on the back, and Mark Curtis checking in with Rey Mysterio Jr.
This match has been all Dragon. He's really controlled the pace of this match. Mysterio usually by now would have the advantage, I would say 75%. You'd see him do all kinds of moves, up and down, in and out of the ring. But the Dragon has kept him right where he wants him, right in the middle of that ring.
You cannot wear all that gold and hardware that the Ultimate Dragon has and not being able to have some type of game plan. Obviously, he does, Brain. And that was a good resume or synopsis by you right there.
What was that, a resume, a synopsis?
Yeah.
I've got him. Powerbombing down, 1, 2. Oh, my goodness. A great combination move that time. Powerbomb guillotine. And a cover.
He's got him.
1, 2, and only a 2 count.
How many times we've seen Rey Mysterio Jr. come back from devastating moves?
Mysterio trying some headbutts just to fire back, but they had no effect on the Dragon at all. And the Dragon, as you said earlier, Dream, the power advantage, he's a bigger man. It's showing right here now. Here's a pickup and another power bomb.
A giant swing.
The Dragon swing.
The Dragon swing. It's a big one. Both men go down.
Well, I think the Dragon got a little tipsy-topsy himself there. His knees were weak.
Mark Curtis checking with both men, and watch out, Ultimate Dragon is in the ring. Rey Mysterio Jr. is not, and that's trouble because Sonny Onoo's on the outside somewhere. Here he comes. Mark Curtis had put him in his place, but now he's stalking. He is behind Rey Mysterio Jr.
Well, Mark Curtis got to look here because this will definitely be some outside interference.
I didn't see him do anything yet.
Well, he did earlier.
He kicked him earlier. Where
Well,
were
my
you?
monitor had gone on the horizontal here at Flip.
Why don't you watch my monitor? It never seems to go. Here's a cover, 1, 2, got a 2 count again.
Well, he's tried to put him away, Tony, every opportunity he's had. And like Brain was saying, Ultimate Dragon, this has been all him, all offense. Brainbuster.
How about it? A brainbuster got him. Very arrogant, slow cover that time, 1, and that cost him.
You know, Mysterio's landed on the back of his head and his neck about 15 times already in this match. I'd work on that part. I'd get a good reverse headlock or something, just snap him.
Package.
2!
No!
And the man out with an offensive move out of that small package. First of all was Ultimate Dragon.
Right back to the head there. Like Brain said, kicked him right in the noggin. He's taking a whipping, you know. It ain't no regular whipping. This is like one of them pulling your drawers down when your mama's mad at you with a switch whippings.
You're not kidding, it is. But he's had them before. And more times than not, even though he's had those, as you say, dream type of whippings, Rey Mysterio Jr. has come back.
You know, and the only way this thing can end tonight as we're in this great match, I just got to say it right now. I said it before. Hogan is the man. Hollywood Hulk Hogan is the man. He's got to step up to the plate here because Piper has picked this fight. And I guarantee you, if this thing is going to cease to exist, somebody's got to beat somebody with a new world order high on the top. And it can't be Eric Bischoff because he's not a wrestler, so it's got to be Hulk Hogan.
That's the man you have to go after.
Oh! And this could be over right here.
How much more in this match can Mysterio take from Dragon? Lateral press, hooks a leg, and does not get it yet.
Phenomenal young man. He's a phenomenon.
I tell you, I think Dragon needs to take a lesson from the playbook of, there's a drop kick, of Dean Malenko. Do
Watch
not
out.
be very arrogant when you're wrestling Rey Mysterio Jr. This is right behind us, as you can see.
Oh!
Behind our broadcast location, this is ring number 2 that we're facing. They're in ring number 1.
Such great agility, too. Who's that guy in the red coat back there?
Things don't look good for Mr. Mysterio Jr. Not at all. Crawl back to the dressing room, pal. Maybe the only thing that'll save you.
To the attack once again. Watch out. Pick up.
On the outside. Oh!
Another pile driver.
I don't think he's going to get back in.
He's going to try it again.
Oh!
Man, I'll tell you what.
Gigantic splash.
That shot of us in the back looks like we're watching another match somewhere, don't it?
We are watching our monitors.
Turn around, Brain. They're right behind you, brother.
And calling this one because it has been everything we thought it would be. Well, that's going to help, I'm sure.
That took just as much out of the Dragon as it did Rey Mysterio.
Both these men are spent. And the Ultimate Dragon is spent just a whipping on Junior, and Junior's spent just taking it.
He has taken it. There's no doubt about that.
Head first to a turnbuckle. Dragon's got to be pretty frustrated right now. He's tried just about everything on Mysterio, but nothing seems to keep the man down.
Can't get a 3 count on him. He's covered him, too, very nonchalantly, if you remember.
Exactly what I was talking about.
Oh!
Spins around.
He don't get him here. He's not going to get him.
1, 2. He didn't get him.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what. This young man is taking a beating, and I guarantee you there's no give up in Rey Mysterio Jr.
Nothing there. Here's
Got
a
him
pickup
up
again. Got a running powerbomb.
Oh! And folding him in half.
1, 2. Still no.
Unbelievable.
That's got to be Clark Kent in the mask.
That time, certainly, as we've known for so many years and so many months since we've seen him in WCW, that he has tremendous leg strength. And he used his legs that time to get out of the pinning predicament. Just pushed the man away.
I'll tell you what.
Into the ropes, a head of steam.
Oh.
He ran into the foot. He
Got another
ran
one.
into both of them. A jumping spin wheel kick, and that caught him. And now what's Mysterio going to try to do?
He's going up top.
Rey Mysterio Jr.
You're
up
right.
Oh! Did not connect. One, two.
He got him.
Did not get it.
You know why? You were right. He didn't connect with that thing off the top.
No, he hit more Matt than he did man.
Yeah, and I know Mike's going to be mad at me for saying that thing, but that's what it looked like to me.
That thing. What's this thing? Shoulder block. He is up on the top. Drop kicks him in the back of the head.
Well, watch out for something big and spectacular right here. Watch out for something big.
And the fans are standing up, they're cheering. They want to see something here. He's up. Oh, and they saw it.
He had it in him. I tell you what, this young man is a dealer now.
I'll tell you, if he'd been off a half an inch, that could have ended the career of Rey Mysterio Jr. Just a half inch. Talk about high-risk moves.
No question about it.
The referee got to get back in there and start this count. I believe both men are down.
Well, he's only at 58.
Slow to get out, but Mysterio's the first man out.
Get back in that ring, beat the count.
Rolls him in.
That's where you have to beat him, in that ring.
No question about it. Mark Curtis a little lenient on the 10 count that time for both men, but why not? So much at stake. 1, 2, we do not hit.
No.
Ultimo Dragon rolls him up. 1, 2, no!
I mean, it's so
Incredible.
quick. Yeah. They're so quick, you don't have time to react, I guarantee you.
Cartwheel, he's up on top. Tough spot.
Got him, drilled him. He's got him.
2!
No, what?
Did
Two.
not get it yet.
They don't get any closer than that.
That was a maneuver, a reversal of a maneuver that he has won so many matches with. But that time, the Dragon escaped into a full Nelson.
He's going to bring it back.
There's your Dragon suplex.
Right on his noggin.
That's it.
1, 2.
Oh! This is phenomenal.
goodness.
This is beyond belief.
Get aboard and just beat him. That's the only thing you can do now.
I don't believe that would hurt him.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
He's just fighting on sure will.
Backslide. 1, 2. No!
Well, he skinned the cat back there and got him rolled up.
Back elbow from a waistline. Mysterio is going to take flight again. Seemingly a second win here. Up.
He planted him.
2.
Yes,
He got him. Big victory. Big
Ladies and
match.
gentlemen, the winner, and still a Crown Cruiserweight Champion, the Ultimate Dragon.
There's your winner.
Tell you what, it took a power bomb using some added momentum from the top rope. This is spectacular. We're going to see some replays of what went down.
Get ready. You're
But
next.
there are a lot of potential replays in that match, guys.
Yeah, you could have used a number of them.
Well, I guess in his own way, Roddy Piper is prepared for the fight of his life. I've never seen him wound up that tight, Mike, today. Have you?
Never, and I've been following this man's career from the outset, and Roddy Piper is wound up sitting on ready for Hulk Hogan tonight at Starrcade.
You know something, Mike? And by the time he walks to the ring tonight, he'll be wound up. He'll be wound up tighter than a cheap watch.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else, guys. You know, Hogan is the master of intimidation. Obviously, from what we see right here, he cannot intimidate Roddy Piper. He will be wound up tighter than a drum. Bottom line, focus your head. Get it right, Roddy Piper, because I guarantee the fight you pick is getting ready to transpire right here at Starrcade.
So far, the Ultimo Dragon has won the Cruiserweight Championship, the unifying 9 titles. Akira Hokuto, the WCW Women's Championship. And now, Rey Mysterio Jr. will face Jushin Thunder Liger. What an amazing story this Jushin Thunder Liger is, Mike, today.
Well, Tony, you're right. The winner of this match, in my opinion, is on a collision course with, obviously, the Ultimo Dragon, who unified and won the 9-belt bout that opened tonight's Starrcade. And arguably, the 4 men that we've seen tonight are the best in the world today in the cruiserweight ranks.
Jushin Thunder Liger. First time competing here in WCW in a long, long time. I think if you go back even to Starrcade of last year was his last time. But Mike, we talked about this man as you take a look. The people are right here behind Rey Mysterio Jr. What a sensation he is. We'll get a handshake. But when you talk about men who really have a story behind them, Jushin Thunder Liger really does. He comes back into the ring here.
Well, Tony, this bout that we're seeing is truly a dream matchup of international scope. Two men who have revolutionized the sport of professional wrestling. This is their first ever head-to-head meeting. I think if you look at it on paper and break it down, Liger's 6-year experience edge is about the only factor that separates these two in what's a very even matchup.
Yeah, Mysterio Jr. really is a phenomenon, as you said. You know, revolutionizing the sport of wrestling is a big term and a big words that Iron Mike just used. I believe these two guys in their own way, personally in their own way, has all done a lot for the sport of wrestling and the cruiserweight division. I go back again, Iron Mike, and ask you the question. Can these guys compete with the heavyweights? I know we already talked about that. I understand their focus right here. But Jushin Thunder Liger is one guy I have seen fight with the big boys. You know what I mean?
I would say this is a similar situation to the Malenko Dragon bout. I think Rey Mysterio should probably focus on that cruiserweight division where Liger does have the opportunity to break on through, has in the past, and competed with the top heavyweights in the world today. You know, the year 1996 was certainly very different for these two men. I think it'd have to be termed the high water mark for the 21-year-old Mysterio. He had that 4-month reign as the cruiserweight champion and really made a name for himself in Japan and the United States. 96, though, was maybe one of the toughest years that Jushin Liger has endured in a 13-year career. Back in August, Liger underwent surgery to remove a brain tumor. He's made a remarkable recovery with a return to the ring just over 2 months later.
Wow. I think Rey Mysterio shouldn't even concern himself about the Ultimo Dragon. He's got to concern himself with this man Liger right now, because that's the man who's going to beat him.
That is quite a story. Having a brain tumor removed in August, and here it is right after Christmas, and he is in the ring and looking great. Sending Rey Mysterio, look at the force behind that one.
He rammed him in there, head first. And little Rey went down in a heap.
Back to the attack again. Jushin Thunder Liger has come out here with a purpose. Of course, as far as he's concerned, his country's on a roll here. And Mysterio just battling, trying to get to his feet. Mark Curtis is your referee. Into the ropes, up and down. That hurt. As you can see, Mysterio knocked the wind right out of him that time.
When it comes to revolutionary wrestlers in terms of high-flying moves, these two men really were groundbreakers. What Liger first accomplished in the 1980s has honestly been taken to another level by Mysterio in this decade, but he's on the receiving end of that powerbomb.
Yeah, and we see a lot of the same maneuvers in this division, Iron Mike, that we see from the other guys. And I really believe it's who applies it at the right time. I mean, you can use it, but if you get the guy at the right time, being able to put him away is so important. And especially when you're doing all these great moves. They're great moves, but you got to know, I believe, the right time. It's like putting on a figure four. If it ain't right, you can't get him done. You know what I mean?
I think the other important factor, Dusty, has to be the timing when you can capitalize on a missed high-risk move by your opponent. Those would be the two biggest factors in winning this matchup.
Up he goes. Head scissor takeover. Tremendous maneuver. Now we got Rey Mysterio with a second win. Backflip back in the ring. Both
he was
men
going
go.
to powerbomb him on the floor from the ring.
Here comes Mysterio. Put the brakes on just in time.
Everyone's talking about Rey Mysterio Jr. The kids, the women, the fans, everybody loves this guy. Why? Because he's quick?
That's a good question, Brain.
Yeah, it is a good question. You like a guy because he's quick.
I think they like him because of perseverance.
Yeah, I think because he stood in there for one reason. Let's talk about the 60-man battle royal. He stood in there and fought them all. I mean, when you get somebody with courage that'll stand up to the big guys, Piper standing up to Hogan and this whole mess, then you got somebody that's really likable. But besides that, he's a great athlete.
And this is what we've seen so many times, what we're seeing right now from Mysterio. You think he is near dead, and he bounces right back. The young man, 21 years of age, as Mike told you earlier, just will not give up.
Is he favoring that right leg? Right knee?
Am I wrong here, Mike? Are we seeing Liger a little bit more deliberate than usual?
I think what we've seen with Liger through the years as his career has evolved is a more deliberate style. We talked earlier about making that mistake on the high-risk move, and I think that Liger's very reluctant to be the one that makes that first mistake.
Well, you know, Iron Mike, over in Japan, all my friends there, and I'd seen this kid early in his career when I traveled there, and what he went through is phenomenal just for him to be here after the brain tumor and the operation, to come back out here and to be here. And that deliberancy might now change his game plan or the way he goes about things, because when you're faced with laying on a bed and don't know whether you're going to be breathing in the morning, you will get a new outlook on life, and that might be what he's doing right here. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's urgency to go ahead and get it done and enjoy it and go on with your life, and that's what he's doing. My hat's off to Jushin Thunder Liger. I guarantee you that.
Well, it certainly was a career-threatening situation for Liger, but he's bounced back, and I think he's really looking forward to making 1997 a big comeback year. Missed that drop kick off the top, did Mysterio.
You know what, Brain? He looked a little heavier to me than the last time we seen him too. I'm talking about Liger. Thank you, Brain. Tony,
well,
anyway.
I'm looking at the guy.
Well, you know, I'm trying to be polite here, Stockade, and throw you something over there.
Well, I'm watching this.
Well, does he look heavier to you than?
Yes, he looks heavier than me. He looks heavier than he did a minute ago. How's that?
I think the size very deceptive as far as Liger's concerned. Great tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Liger, and now going to try and get him up in that upside-down surfboard.
What he got. And Mark Curtis is checking. Is that a yes or no? His head is going every which way, up and down, side to side.
Yeah, he's got him really.
He's saying no.
Out.
He's saying no, though. Yes,
he's saying yes. What is he? Mark Curtis doing a great job.
Well, look at this.
Not only watching, but listening. The man did not give up.
Brain, with this added weight really help him in this situation here.
Not laying flat on your back, it won't help you unless you want to throw the man off you.
Well, I think, Dusty, maybe the added weight would help him, because we talked earlier about that change in styles.
Yes.
Maybe a more deliberate, methodical type offense on the part of Liger.
All right.
Over the top. Released German suplex that time, and it caught him on the back of the head. Amazing recovery again. Backflip. Covers him 1-2, and Liger kicks out.
You know, Tony Ray reminds me of great teams and great games and great athletes. When you got him, you got to reach way down, and you think you got him beat, just like the great Dallas Cowboys. When you think you got him beat, they are able to come back and do tremendous things because they are the champion. If you've been champion before, you got to be beaten. You know what I'm saying? You're turning your head now because
over the top. Here's a cover. 1, 2.
You didn't answer
2 count.
Like the great Dallas Cowboys. You didn't answer me.
Well, talking about
I don't know what he's talking about.
I'll make another scenario.
Yeah, okay, please. Through the ropes, up on top. And drop kick down.
Super springboard drop kick by Mysterio on target.
And he's limping. He's favoring that right leg. Pull back, pull back.
We talked earlier about that big Tokyo Dome event on January the 4th. We now understand that match is official. Jushin Liger to challenge Ultimo Dragon for all the championship belts. And the irony of that Cruiserweight title showdown is that the unifying of all the champions from around the world was actually the brainchild of Jushin Liger. It was his idea, his challenge to bring all the belts together back in August when New Japan Wrestling held that tournament, caught him with the drop kick.
Yeah, but agree with me on this or not.
2, got a 2 count.
Liger has to look good here tonight. Something positive has to come out of this thing here tonight.
He's wasting a little too much time with Rey Mysterio. With his weight advantage, he should be taking advantage of his size. He should be laying on the man. He should be making him kick out if he can. He should just be smothering him. He's got him here, it looks like.
A 2 count, and once again, has to be getting frustrated here. Half crab applied, and there's Mark Curtis checking with Rey Mysterio Jr. Like you said, the first meeting between these two. Sensations in this sport.
They actually were on opposite sides of a tag team match in Japan a few months back, but they were really in the ring for about 30 seconds total, so it was almost just a tease leading up to this first ever dream bout between the two.
Well, who was their partners that did all the battling out there? I'd like to know that. You know, my old partner, the late Hart Richard Murdoch, I know he's watching this thing tonight, and He kind of favored that too. Me out there doing all the work, him getting all the glory.
Oh, is that the way it happened?
I tell you.
Oh boy.
Very effective move by Liger. The dragon screw leg whip, what's that called? Where he almost popped the knee of Rey Mysterio Jr.
What'd you say? With the what? The dragon screw leg
whip.
Yeah, man, I gotta remember that one for later on tonight. What was that, honey? Well, that was the dragon screw leg whip.
And that one was the somersault capo kick in the corner by Mysterio.
I knew that.
Hey, you guys want anything? I run to the concession stand and pick up some beverages, some popcorn if you want. Maybe I'll get you a cider or a leg whip.
Oh my. Into the corner now. Up on top, look at that maneuver. Flipped him out of the corner. Here comes Mysterio. Spin wheel kick, and that caught him right in the jaw. And staggered him back to the corner. But he's one step ahead. He caught him and put him up on top. How about that? He blocked with his foot. Sends him out to the middle of the ring one more time. For the ride to the left side. Somersault up on top. He is so quick. And kicked him on the floor. Uh-oh. Moonsault! Much like we saw with the Ultimo Dragon earlier.
He took it one step further, going all the way to the top, Tony.
And both men now, as you can see, down. Who can make it back to the ring? We may have a double countout.
Well, I tell you what, that was an awesome move there. And I guarantee you, Mysterio is hurting just as bad as Jushin Thunder Liger.
It's Mysterio at an 8 count, back in 9.
He's telling him not to count. He doesn't want to beat the man that way. He wants to beat him in the ring.
That's exactly what happened there. He broke the count, did Mysterio. And Liger very slow to get back to the apron here now.
That took a lot out of Liger. Now Mysterio, what he has to do now, he's got to really turn it up now. He's got to turn up a couple of degrees.
Guillotine leg drop off the top.
Reach down and grab something.
1, 2. He's on the rope. He is on the rope. Mysterio thought he had the win. It was that close.
Now he's got to reach down. Now he's got to give it his all. Time's running out on him.
Waistlock. Almost like a power bomb, setting him down. Mysterio up on top again here.
Liger's hurt.
He really is. Really moving slow here now. Up on top. Oh, he just rolled out of the way. And now Liger.
He's seen him coming too. Telegraphed that thing just a little bit.
Missed on that springboard backsplash. Now Liger with a diving headbutt.
1, 2. No.
No.
And that shocked Liger. Look at him. He thought it was over. Showboating, thinking it was all over with that time, but that was not the case. Once again, if you take Mysterio lightly, that's what happens. The young man is back up, but he gets chopped back to a neutral corner. Liger sent in. Mysterio up and into the apron. Shoulder block. Forearm smash. He is up on the top. Oh, he's down. Oh, he went all the way to the floor.
Boy, I tell you what, that was a blow right there.
It's a nasty spill.
Very dangerous drop from Mysterio, landing all the way on the floor.
Now, Liger. Mysterio. I have no idea what's going to happen here. He missed that one.
Yeah, he landed on his feet though, but Jushin Thunder Liger was right on top of the game plan right there. Come back, caught him on the side of the head, picking him up right now. Big time power bomb.
Boy, it was.
Liger bomb.
All right.
3, America nothing.
Jushin Thunder Liger gets the win, defeats Rey Mysterio Jr. And now next, as we said, for Liger, the Ultimo Dragon, January 4th in Tokyo Dome for the 9 belts. That was quite an effort here tonight by both men. Well, what do you think, Mike?
Well, you're right, Tony. It was a tremendous effort on the part of both wrestlers.
We are back. The wrestlers are in the ring, and there's the opening bell. Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio Jr. 2 men very familiar with each other, and 2 men right now, and as great as Mysterio is, Mike, today, I would not want to be in his shoes right now because Malenko is a man with a purpose.
Well, I think this is a huge match in the eyes of the WCW Executive Committee. This continuation, this next chapter in what's been an incredible rivalry. Of course, back at Halloween Havoc, Malenko ended the 4-month reign of Rey Mysterio Jr. as Cruiserweight Champion. And if you have an opportunity to see the replay of Starrcade, Tony, those 2 matchups involving the Cruiserweights, the Malenko Ultimo Dragon bout and the Rey Mysterio Jushin Thunder Liger match, just tremendous as well back at Starrcade. And if you have a chance to see the replay this Thursday, don't miss it.
History was made. You don't want to miss it. You're right. I'll tell you something about Dean Malenko. He is focused, and he knows what he has to do. He knows what happened last night, but now he's going to have to regroup, and he's that kind of a competitive athlete. He's not going to falter. He's going to turn around and win this match, and he's going to regain that Cruiserweight Championship again. You just know it.
Well, you know, you say he's determined, but he has the same facial expression that he had last night in the ring. You know, and almost with the exception of that show of emotion that he had when he lost last night, which was the most we've ever seen from Malenko, he had the same facial expression as he walked out last night, Mike.
Well, I would say that both men are really focused on an attempt to regain that WCW Cruiserweight Championship and bring it rightfully back to the U.S. Of course, it's now headed to Japan, where it's around the waist of the Ultimo Dragon.
No question about that. And the reversal as you take a look at Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. As we said, ladies and gentlemen, Piper is here. 1 day removed. Less than 24 hours ago, Piper defeated Hollywood Hulk Hogan in this state, in Nashville, with the sleeper hold. It was absolutely amazing. We've heard the lies. We've seen the little friction that we have seen within the members of the New World Order. And hard to tell what's going to happen with Piper here.
I'm shocked that Piper's here tonight. The man proved his point last night.
That's right.
What would be his purpose in coming back tonight, Bobby?
I don't know. That's the $64,000 question. I can't give you an answer on that. He beat Hogan. He said he's not affiliated with anybody.
He has his movie career, his family life that come first.
I don't know. I don't know why he's here.
To the head, and Mysterio's hooked now. And Dean Malenko, it wasn't too long ago that the battles between Malenko and Mysterio got personal when Malenko stole the mask of Rey Mysterio Jr. Well, Malenko got the title, Mysterio got the mask, and now here they go again. One of the great matchups of 1996.
What would he be doing here, Piper? Nothing left to prove.
I don't know, but
he
fans
beat Hulk Hogan, guys.
Yeah, he did.
Look at the eyes on Malenko. Look at the expression.
Nothing.
It's just great to hear that sentence, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He
Cover
beat
1,
Hulk Hogan.
2, got a 2 count. Well, top to bottom, there was, you know, we talked about all the fans lining the building from early in the afternoon, wanting to be the first to get in those general admission seats, scalping tickets. There was an atmosphere like never before in our sport that happened last night in Nashville, gentlemen. I know you both will agree. We could feel it when we got to the arena early in the afternoon.
They were standing around the building like 3 or 4 times, lines.
Yes.
I thought they were giving out free grits.
2 and 3 hours before the building even opened last night in Nashville.
Doesn't matter. They don't have watches there.
Would you leave the people alone? It's a great state we're in at Tennessee. Tennessee Volunteers will be in the Florida Citrus Bowl on January 1st against Northwestern. Of course, this is the home of the Tennessee Volunteers here in Knoxville. Neyland Stadium just up the road here.
Now, what do they tell you in life? Never volunteer.
And a good look at Rey Mysterio Jr. It's great to be here. 1997. We'll see
Siesta.
WCW Monday Nitro, Monroe, Louisiana next week. The Superdome in New Orleans in 2 weeks on the 13th as part of the NAPTE convention. And then we'll be going to Chicago on January 20th, the United Center, the home of the Bulls and the Blackhawks. Oh, for WCW Monday Nitro on the 20th. 21st, the Wisconsin Center, Milwaukee, Clash of the Champions will be live on TBS. And you can see it at the building formerly known as the Mecca. And then on the 22nd, we'll be in Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Brown County Arena. We're taping of WCW Saturday night. Here's a pickup, and over the top, a cover by Malenko. 1, 2, got a 2 count.
Malenko's mat technique so strong, it's really neutralized Rey Mysterio Jr. in this matchup and has really grounded any chance he has to use any of his high-risk moves. What a backbreaker.
You like 360-pound women in bowling shirts?
I don't know. I've never met one.
You'll love Green Bay.
And there's not only the backbreaker there, Mike, but look how he's stretching the man out, putting more pressure on that lower back.
Junior don't bend that way.
No one does.
He does now.
Interesting move, turning that backbreaker into a submission hold.
1-2, got a 2 count. That was all that time. You know, the fans here do not realize what we realize about Piper. Oh. There's a crossbody. 1-2, got a 2 that time. So explosive is Rey Mysterio Jr. He executes his moves so quickly. A lot of times, he'll get a 1-2-3 out of sheer surprise, Mike.
Absolutely. That's really been the mark of Rey Mysterio, that resiliency, that never say die attitude. That's what took him to the top, and that's what kept him there as the world's cruiserweight champion. And it was really the high watermark of his career in 1996. And I think he's dedicated 97 to regaining that title, Tony.
You know, talk about the Starrcade, the replay. It's like if you see a movie a couple times, you always see things you didn't see before. You've got to see this again. There were so many near counts of 3 on the mat. There were so many near times the match could have ended. So it was a tremendous pay-per-view.
Forearm shot to the midsection. Here he goes, up, climbing the ropes. Little aggressive nature there by Mysterio. Up.
Whoa!
Oh, that hurt, obviously. And maybe one of the downfalls to Rey Mysterio and his chance of getting the cruiserweight is the fact that he is so light that you can throw him around the ring. But there's a crossbody from the top.
Looks like he hurt himself, Tony, coming down off that cross body block. Either the wind knocked out or maybe he landed on his wrist.
Maybe so, but both men slow to get to the vertical base. Missing of a clothesline. Hip tossed him out. Leg spring up toe. Power bomb city. 1, 2, no.
How did he kick out?
Unbelievable that he did. That he can even move after that one.
Instinct.
A pickup from the top, rolls him over. Mysterio gets a 1, 2. No, didn't get him there either. Who's going to win this one? They're giving it their all, much like we saw last night, as you talked about earlier, Mike, in those cruiserweight battles we saw earlier in the telecast.
And if you have a chance to see Starrcade, great roll up.
1, 2, no.
How about the 2 tournament final matchups?
How about that?
Women's championship decided, as well as Eddie Guerrero winning the U.S. belt.
And how about the comments made by Diamond Dallas earlier when asked point blank by Gene Okerlund, hey, what are you going to do about what the NWO did? And he just walked away from it. I've never seen Dallas Page at a loss for words, ever.
I never have either.
Using the middle rope as a springboard, almost like a spin wheel kick off of that, Mike.
And Mysterio, when we talk about high-risk moves, perched up on top.
No!
Over the top!
Oh!
Incredible senton backsplash over the top post.
Could have broken the man's neck that time the way he landed on him, but he hurt himself as well. That's what WCW is all about.
So dangerous. Everything they do.
Middle rope, top rope, power bomb, no.
What a counter.
Into a Boston Crab, submission hold.
Sit down, sit down.
He bridged out of it. We've never seen that. Sunset flip the other way, a bridge 1-2, and Malenko escapes.
Malenko's back is against the wall here. He realizes after that loss last night, he's got to win this one.
You ever seen anyone bridge out of a Boston Crab?
Incredible sequence of near falls in this matchup.
I did once. It was a go-go.
Forget it, please. Back to the attack again goes Mysterio. You just drift off into.
Well, you asked me a question.
Well, we need to stop doing that. Up on top, Mysterio. Into a side salto that time.
No change of expression on Mr. Malenko.
He is the man of 1,000 moves, holds, and counter moves. They could probably number 3,000 together. Up on top is Mysterio. Head scissor takeover. The bell is sounded. The bell is sounded. Apparently our 10 minutes have run out. We're going to get the official word. Well, let's go down to David
That don't help
Penzer.
Malenko.
Let's hear what we got here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit for this match has expired. The referee declares this match a draw.
Let him go.
I think this just reflects how even this rivalry has been throughout 1996. Almost poetic justice that this ends in a time limit draw.
Mysterio wants 5 more minutes. Unfortunately, he's not going to get it. A 10-minute time limit for matches here in the hour.
I need 5 more minutes. I could pin him.
I think so. Well, at least, I think Malenko could pin you too. You just don't know. But this will continue with these superb athletes in the Cruiserweight division, and will continue with the total package. Lex Luger and Piper is here.
Next.